Okay, can you hear me now? How's the volume? Shit, he's had to report the thing. Hey, GD. Hey, oh my god. Oh, fucking hell. There's loads of people here today. Not surprised, given how much drama there's been this last week. All right, guys. I'm not a superstitious man, but I'm genuinely getting concerned at my ability to predict the future, right? Because for those of you who have been here since the beginning, you know, right, that I called what would happen with Niji Sanji 3 months before it happened. I even predicted it would be Selen who would get fucked by Niji Sanji. And then if you remember, the day of my debut, I said I was going to switch to making content relating to a prison project. And that hours after my debut stream, Prison Project closed. And then I predicted what would happen to Idol. Then I predicted what happened to Brave. And then if you guys follow me on Twitter, you know, right? Hang on, let me see if I can get it up. So, if you remember on Twitter a few days ago, where is it? Let me just find out. Oh my god, I spend way too much time on that infernal website. Oh wait, no, is that it? No, hang on. Oh my god, I post way too fucking much. I need to stop posting so much on that godforsaken website. What's the quickest way to find the media tab? Where is the goddamn media tab? Is that it? Oh, there we go, found it. Okay, cool. Now how do I actually open up this goddamn thing? Sorry, will you bear me just 1 second? This old man Maulington tries to learn how technology works again. I posted it 5 days ago, so when is that? That was on the Thursday, I think. Oh, there we go, found it. There we go. Let me just make sure I'm not fucking doxing myself or anything if I get this link. Nope. Okay, cool, here we go. Okay, so, if you guys remember, I made this. And I'll need to remove VTube Studio. So, again, when was it? It was, yeah. On the 9th of April, I made this meme, right? That you might have seen in the Phase Connect meme video. So it says here, statistically speaking, it's our turn soon. Phase fans looking at other VTuber Corporation drama. And then what happens, like 2 days after I post this meme? Fucking everything starts going to shit. I think at this point, I think I'm some kind of psychic. I seem to have prescience. I just have this ability to predict what's going to happen in corporate VTubing land, and it's actually starting to scare me a little bit. But yes, everything that's happening in Phase Connect at the moment, it's completely my fault, and I am sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Oh, by the way, Tema saw this tweet, by the way, and I really fucking pissed off Tema with this tweet. That's literally my worst nightmare come true. Not because I pissed off Tema, but it's just my word. Not because I upset Tenma, but Tenma genuinely scares me. So Tenma like screaming at me is actually something that low-key terrifies me. But fortunately, Tenma didn't actually scream at me, even though it's my fault. Everyone went after EB, who reposted my meme and then like made his own meme, kind of. It's really weird. I don't understand why EB's getting all the flack for that meme, and I seem to have gotten away with it. Because I'm the one who's basically, you know, stirring shit, and EB's like, no, nothing ever happens, Phase Connect's fine. But everyone's jumping down his throat and ignoring me. Not that I'm complaining. That's very weird. I don't know how I got away with that one, but I'll take it. You better not have a prediction about Phase. You keep that evil shit to yourself. Yeah. I think it's just as likely that you're manifesting these things, and I think the only reasonable course of action is for you to take one for the team and Isekai. Yeah, GD, oh, you know what? I'd fucking Isekai me off this goddamn communist rock, GD. Fuck me. I'm fed up with being British at this point. Hey, Zero. Hello, Governor. How's it going, Cobber? How's it going, mate? Hey, Hina came back to a fan, so it hasn't been all bad. That's very true. That's very true. We've got some light in the darkness. Yeah, Sheena handled the situation very well, at least. However, my love bug heart aches. That's the thing. Yeah, it's really tricky. God bless her. She's a sweet little angel, is Sheena. I think, honestly, the best thing for her to do was to have not actually acknowledged the poor parasocial guy in any way or form. Because the thing is, right, is this what Sheena did, I think. Sheena did the very decent thing to do. But now that she's done that, it's basically like sent a signal to VTuber fans that if they're schizo enough, you know, if they crash out hard enough, then Sheena will, you know, actually reply to their stuff. So I don't know. I think it could potentially backfire and cause Sheena a lot more problems in the future. But still, in principle, though, I did think that was a very, you know, decent thing for her to do. I think it does show good moral character on her part for her to, like, you know, not laugh the guy, not mock the guy, and, you know, turn it into a spectacle. But she was quite respectful, I thought. So that's awesome. Hey, I always want to say, like, talking pop press. Hey, Rob, how's it going, bud? I'm good, thank you. How are you? I'm nearly got over this flu. Perdifius Albion personified. Hell yeah, Kryvis, well said. Hey, Eric, the eternal angler strikes again. It's almost like a typical English person. I like what they have a saying in like the Middle East that goes back to the early days of the British Empire, and it's something like every time, like every rock you stub your toe on, a British person put it there. Like they say something like that. So like your typical British fan, it's like, you know, it's like the memes about Lumi, how Lumi's always like behind all the drama and like the downfall of you know, Lumi's responsible for everything. It's like Lord Maulington is responsible for everything as well now. Only 2 streamers don't call you Talking Pop Press. Who's the other one? I've got myself a Face Connect coffee as well to go for today's stream. I had a Naruka coffee this morning, and now I'm currently drinking a Leah coffee. Oh yeah, shit, sorry, I forgot. I've got my lean on, so if I like lean forwards to drink or clear my throat or something, I get uncomfortably close. I get uncomfortably close to your screen. I do apologise for that. But anyway, to get to today's point, let's go over the Sheena and fucking like Dizzy drama, okay? So starting with the Dizzy situation, I don't think there's like any reason for anyone to freak the fuck out and start screaming about how it's the end and about how the dream is dead. I mean, the thing is about poor Dizzy, bless her, is that Dizzy seems to want Face Connect to succeed more than fucking like Sakana himself does. That woman's always working. She's always like doing so many projects, and she's a talent, so she's got her own stuff to sort out at the same time. And she still has like a leadership role. I think like a lot of people in Face Connect look up to Dizzy as well. So I think the woman has just like overworked herself far too much for far too long, and she just needs a little bit of a break, and then she'll come back and she'll be okay. I don't think it's anything too serious, really. I mean, she hasn't like come out and said what the problem is, but I imagine it probably is relating to overwork. And I would say that because I get the same way Dizzy does, where when I overwork myself and I get myself burned out, not only do I kind of like burn myself out, but it has quite a significant emotional toil on me as well when I get like really stressed out and burned out. So it's probably unfortunately just one of those things where she just needs to get away from VTubing and content creation and like work for a little while and just have some time to herself to just decompress. I don't think it's like anything serious that people need to worry about. I'm sure she'll be I'm sure Dizzy will be back in, I don't know, the next 6 weeks or so, if not less, so we can continue to bully her, you know, and make her the sad girl. I think the reason she acknowledged it is because Taku was ongoing. I don't think she would have otherwise. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really know much about the butter cookie fandom, really. From what I can tell from other established butter cookies, like Taku was a really well liked and like pretty well known member of the butter cookie community. So I think he's some kind of like, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's some butter cookies in there, I recognize some names. But yeah, I think Taku is like was like a quite well liked and respected member of the community. So it's a little bit of a different situation because he's not some random schizo or lurker who's having a meltdown, right? I guess it's someone who's quite well liked in the community, so it actually like hurts the community and it'll be missed by his leaving probably. Oh, was he an artist? Was Taku? I wasn't sure if he was a guy, if he commissioned art, or if he was himself an artist, or is it that he commissioned like a load of art for Sheena, like to the sum of $10,000, and then what did Sheena use those commissions for? Yeah, he commissioned the art, right? Yeah, he commissioned for. Apparently, the drama is he commissioned $10,000 worth of art. Bless him. And yeah, Sheena would use a lot of it. And I guess he kind of did that because, you know, it's the age-old thing with VTuber fans where you watch a VTuber for a particularly long time. By nature, most VTubers are variety streamers, and the way variety streamers operate is that the focus is more on who they are and their personality rather than the specific thing that they're doing, right? Like you get people like Shroud who are like the FPS guy, but with VTubers and variety streamers it's more about keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing, where the focus is more on the personality of the talent, and it adds like another layer of, I guess, complications with that relationship. I mean, we had a stream on Parasocialism a few weeks ago, right? But it's the kind of thing of I think, you know, like a lot of VTuber fans are kind of like loners, depressives. Maybe they don't get out that much, and for one reason or another, you know, they don't have a girlfriend and stuff. So they get into this situation where they develop an unhealthy attachment to a streamer, particularly a cute streamer of the opposite sex. And what I find as well on top of that, though, is it's like people in this sphere, people in VTubing don't look at the big picture. They like to mock and laugh at the schizo for getting too attached to their favorite girl streamer or whatever. But then what people need to realize, though, is that both VTubers, VTuber fans, this whole industry and culture in general, actually does facilitate and reinforce this behavior. So I do find it a bit rich sometimes when you get fans like laugh and mock the Parasocials for, you know, having their public crash outs. I don't appreciate it. I don't think it's very funny to laugh at these people, but I guess I can kind of see the in a dark cosmic way. I guess I can see the comedy in it. But the thing is that a lot of those people out there who would like laugh and mock someone for having these parasocial crash outs, at least 90% of them are the exact same way as people like Taku. They just have like enough sense, or maybe a little bit of that self-control, that they don't go too far in the public space. But they have the exact same like mentality as Taku does. They just haven't outed themselves yet, right? Like if we're gonna laugh at Taku for being a parasocial schizo, I see quite a lot of tweets from other people who I could easily point at that and go, that's like cringe, gay, weeb, simp nonsense. Like fucking settle down, pal. Half the shit you post on a daily basis on Twitter isn't exactly the most like healthy and like manly and responsible thing to do, right? It's like on the one, it's like there is a difference between essentially a War and Peace essay on confessing your feelings for someone, but then you also get like these people who are just constantly posting and like reposting porn and like gooning and talking about how a VTuber's voice or like their singing or their ASMR gives them the warm gooey feelings. And I don't want to start like a fucking civil war now over like ASMR and GFE and all that shit. I've already said my piece on that. But the point is, right, is that if we take a step back from VTubing for a moment and we take a step back from the industry and our cultural norms here in this space, and let's look at it from an outsider's perspective. Let's take a look at it from a normie's perspective. If you go around in public admitting how like a woman's voice is giving you all these really, you know, borderline sexual warm feelings and shit, that's not the kind of stuff that you want to be saying in public. People would look at that and they would think, what the fuck is wrong with this weirdo, right? So again, there are scales to like parasocialism and unacceptable things to do and say in VTubing, but essentially almost everybody who engages in this industry in any form and in any way has at some point said or done something like super fucking like weird that probably has you if you post a lot on Twitter, right, and it's found its way into your Oshi's like feed, they may act like they love this stuff and that they're okay with it, but I bet there's been like 100 occasions in like the last month alone where Lumi or Sheena or whoever's read something a fan has said and has thought, Christ, what a gross like fucking freak. That's the reality. And that's kind of, it's like the cult mentality, right? The problem is with VTubing is because you've got so many like weirdos, degenerates, gooners, and autistics and spurgs, whatever you want to call them, all like circle jerking and reinforcing each other to act in this weird degenerate way. It can be it's kind of like a cult, and sometimes people get so caught up in like the power, like the wave of being in that big group, they kind of lose their perspective on normalcy and acceptable behavior. I think many of us have been that way. I've been dangerously close to doing that myself sometimes. And one thing I always do to try and keep myself anchored in like the reality of it, one thing I do to try and keep myself anchored and to stop myself getting a bit too caught up in the source is I try to remember the hidden dark side of VTubing. You know, you in Star Trek, you've got the what is it called? In Star Trek, you've got the prime directive, right? And in VTubing, the prime directive of VTubing is that in all likelihood, the vast majority of VTubers in this space actually think you're weird, gross, and disgusting, and look down on you. And that's really, I know that sounds really black-pilled and doom-pilled to say, but I genuinely believe, actually, that not all of them, but I reckon most VTubers actually think what we do and say and how we behave is weird and gross, and they actually think they don't appreciate it, really. That's what I honestly think. I'd be very surprised. That's kind of what it's kind of one of those things, funnily enough, that I always like when I discover a new VTuber, the first thing that goes through my head isn't who they are, what their content is, what they're about. My first question whenever I see a new VTuber is, it's always, I wonder if this person like genuinely likes their fan base and genuinely likes the industry and the cultural norms of this space, or if they're just taking they're here to just take a bunch of simps for like a ride. That is always the thing that goes through my head. It's like, does she genuinely believe in this Oshi culture stuff, or does she think we're all a bunch of fucking sick freaks and she just wants our money? I do always like to try to speculate as to what is the truth. So I've been ranting there about addressing chat for a little while. Let me spend some time reading chat for a bit. Actually, I always want to read what Agamata says because I like Agamata. Agamata is my fucking like the artist Oshi. I fucking love it. Agamata is one of those rare artists where his art is great and he's fucking funny as well. Like, Agamata's hilarious. Am I the only one that's completely oblivious of what's going on besides Dizzy taking a break? Oh, okay. Do you still need the quick rundown, Agamata, or is chat managed to get you up to date on that? So kind of to give you the too long didn't read of my massive tangent there. A beloved, a relatively well-respected member of Sheena's community, the Butter Cookies, basically posted a giant-ass tweet where, to be fair to the guy, he did realise that he had a problem and that it wasn't okay for him to think or feel this way, but he still basically produced a mega tweet that was, I have unrequited, feelings of love for you, Sheena, and I'm obsessed with you. Unfortunately, I would get the tweet up and show you, but he's deleted his tweet and account since, and I can't be fucked to go like digging through the virtual asylum or like Kiwi Farms or 4chan or wherever the fuck it's obviously inevitably been archived. Can't be bothered to do that right now. I thought I'd just slap the stream on and just get that shit out the way. Oh, he made stuff for Rooney, Hina, and Aruka and Panko too. Kind of. Speaking of VTuber art, I'd appreciate it, Agamata, if you could just like, if you could just be on call to like make my face connect thumbnails for me. So take a look at a lot of the art you do, and I just think that's a perfect thumbnail for a face connect video. I just want to steal Agamata's art. Yeah, Sheena teaches the very opposite of what this guy is doing. Yeah, this is the thing, right? Is that if you are gonna be a VTuber lady, and you're gonna do the more sensual stuff, right? Like, I don't know what you guys think, but here's what I think. I think that ASMR, again, I think ASMR is one of those things. Well, it depends on the ASMR, but I'm talking about like the nighttime kisses, like cuddles in beds, and you know, that kind of ASMR shit. I do think that's like a very sensual kind of thing to do. It's not on the same level as like giving a girl like a foot rub, like a foot massage. But I feel like ASMR is it's right in line of that boundary between an inappropriate relationship between two people. So I don't have a problem with ASMR like I do with GFE, but it's like, I think if you're going to do ASMR and you're going to do that kind of role playing, we have like a connection kind of thing, then the best thing you can do is like have a general sort of attitude, like have a sort of general sort of profile where you regularly remind people, it's like, look, I'm just an entertainer, we are not friends, you're not my boyfriend, and make sure you take care of yourself, go outside, and, you know, don't get a fucking loan out to donate to me, you know, I'm good, thanks, right? So that's why I really like respect people like Pippa, Sheena, and people like Lumi as well, is that those three have, I think those three have very good, fair, and respectable ways of addressing the people who are a bit too deep down the rabbit hole in their communities. So yeah, good on those three for that. But this is the thing though with parasocial relationships, this is like it generally comes from loneliness and depression. So yeah, I think we all remember being teenagers, right? You're like a horny 15, 16-year-old, and you know, you don't have a girlfriend, and you have like, you meet a new girl at school or like over MSN Messenger, showing my age there a little bit. All the people in the chat who are like in their early 20s or younger are like, what the fuck's MSN Messenger? But do you guys remember back in the day you had those Nokia brick phones and you had to spend like 3 or 2 pence or cents or whatever to send a text, and you had MSN Messenger, and then you found the account of that weird goth girl who's the same age as you, but she's in a different class, right? And because she starts like, she sends you like a smiley face over MSN Messenger, and you're like, oh fuck, she's the one, I'm gonna marry her, I'm in love. Right? Because you're just a sad lonely little teenager, right? You've never had woman touch before, so you get a bit crazy, right? It's understandable. Yeah, we got too many fucking Takus in this community. Too many people with Taku. Hey, base mushroom man. I fucking love Agamata. Agamata love. You guys should definitely follow Agamata. The great thing about, I just want to go on a tangent actually about Agamata. I'm not just saying this because he's here. I genuinely mean this, right? Agamata is like has this fantastic ability to not only like make this great art, which is really funny, but he's also like a time capsule, and he's actually himself like a news channel, because what happens is sometimes is that I'll lose grip on what's happening in like certain fandoms, and then like Agamata will like draw art of something crazy that someone in Phase Connect has done or says, and I'll see like this wild fucking art that he's done, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, what the hell is this in reference to? I gotta find out what's going on here. So not only is Agamata an artist, he's actually a news channel as well. So but he's a news channel in the sense that you want to know what the fuck his art is actually in reference to. Oh dear. Hey, Mr. Krabs. The best ASMR is a nice yard mowing video. Those lawn care guys are great. Ah, you know what? What I've gotten into, it's not ASMR, but I guess it's like, I don't know what you call it. I've started watching like videos of people who restore old gaming consoles. Like I watched someone restore a PlayStation 2 from like scratch, basically completely like restored every single minor component, and it was just so satisfying to watch him like get all the rust off of like the bolts and shit, right? I love that stuff. The Mushroom News Channel, yeah, the MNC, the Mushroom News Channel, yeah. He captures a moment in art, he does. You've come very far actually in your artistic ways, Navy Crusader. I mean, I remember the first art I saw you doing, and again, I can at the same time, it's been about a year, I think, right, since you've really started pushing your art. But at the same time, I'm really rapidly losing track of time. I can't believe it's been a year since my last major upload. But you've definitely improved a lot. When Honored Elder is speaking, we listen. Yes, that's right, Sheena. A Managawa, when a noble old black lady like a Managawa Sheena speaks, we must listen to her wisdom. Actually, no, I guess that the black woman thing doesn't work with Sheena. Yellow woman. Yellow woman because she's Asian and because she's a star. I'm an old man. Sorry. By the way, if you're wondering why the fuck you'll just start seeing me randomly lean. When I got my setup done, I've accidentally got my fucking phone is like blocking half of my screen, so I can't actually see chat all that well. So do excuse me if you see like random bleeding. I'm an old man now, but in my young days I fell in love with many mystery ladies. I am God, you know what, Rob? I had the opportunity to smash that weird goth chick who spent all her free time drawing chibi when I was in school. And unfortunately, young Lord Maulington was tremendously more mature and intelligent than fucking 32-year-old Lord Maulington. Like, if I could go back in time and show you guys 16-year-old Lord Maulington, you'd wonder, what the fuck? Am I aging in reverse? I remember the days of trying to raise up mentally ill Canadian... Oh my god. Mentally ill Canadian furry artists. Yeah. God. I think furries have gotten less degenerate over the years instead of more degenerate, which I appreciate, I guess. Hey, Pagoda Gunner, restoration videos. That's right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of as well, Pavele. Like, Agamata's art about the Aruka one was so good. The leaning effect is really good, actually. Great rigging. Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of Whimsy Cat. I really do appreciate all the work Whimsy Cat did on this model. I love it. It's kind of, when I first wanted to design a VTuber model, I wanted to make something a bit more, I guess, kind of like masculine, right? Like have the, the smaller, sharp eyes and have like a beard and a mustache kind of thing, and like have like a really chiseled VTuber model. But in the end, I just couldn't help myself. I love the 1990s so much. So in the end, I went for a design that was like an amalgamation of Sailor Moon, Gundam, like early Gundam, and the Legend of the Galactic Heroes. So yeah, in the end, actually, I'm glad I went this way. But I might get an outfit in the future which is like a more, I guess, masculine, chiseled look. But the thing is, having a model like this doesn't help the femboy allegations. And I'm not a furry, and I'm not a femboy. I'm a big, strong, burly man. Furries have gone more mainstream, sadly. Yeah, I think that is... what the fuck? Why are we talking about, like, furries and shit? No, we're meant to be talking about VTuber drama. But yeah, that's what we'll get on. We can rant. We can we can tangent about furries a little bit later. But that's what I wanted to say about Dizzy. It's like, you guys have to remember, we laugh and we joke and we meme about Dizzy being... Actually, no, I haven't said enough about Dizzy. Let's close Sheena's poor butter cookie off. We'll close it off and then we'll finish off my point on Dizzy. Yeah. So I guess. One thing that really bothers me about the whole, it's not a VTuber problem. It's not a VTuber space problem. It's just a people on the internet problem thing. But yeah, it always does make me sad when I see the reactions to these like schizo parasocials, whatever you want to call them. I don't see why it's funny, and I don't see when the person's already like going through trouble. I don't see how it's helpful to dogpile on them on top of that. The thing is, right, is that Sheena herself has said something. This is something I really can't fucking stand. And it's like, again, it's not a VTuber problem. This is just a general fandom kind of problem. But if I have a problem with someone, right, and I call someone out, that's the end of it at that point. If I step in and I say, okay, you know what, you person in the chat or whatever, who's pissed me off or you've done something I don't like and I've told you to stop it or fuck off, that's the end of it at that point. That's me stepping in. That's me closing that conversation, and then it's on that person to then respond appropriately. And I can't stand these people who then have to like dogpile and like jump in after a streamer or a personality has like already said their piece about a situation. It's really unhelpful, and it's like fucking stupid as well. It really gets on my nerves. It's kind of like, I guess the quickest way to describe it would be, you know, like that scene in Breaking Bad when Walter and Jesse go to Tuco, and Tuco's like, yeah, you know, bring me back the stuff and make it quick, and then that one guy just has to chime in and say, and remember who you're working for, right? And then Tuco goes like fucking ape shit on that guy. You know, it's like, it's really unhelpful to just, you know, to just dogpile on someone when he's already probably not feeling the best, when his like fucking Oshia self has, you know, like replied to him and closed the case. It's really faggy behavior. Like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Just let the guy take it on board and then just like piss off in peace. He doesn't need all these random like dickheads coming in and saying like stupid shit to out virtue signal each other. Unhelpful. We as men, right? As men, we have enough problems going on in the world right now. We don't need to be fucking like putting each other down and like talking mad shit about other people. We should be trying to build each other up. But when I say that, by the way, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be firm, strong, and give someone like Taku a bit of a dressing down, because sometimes a bit of tough love and a bit of brutal honesty is exactly what someone needs. Like, at the same time, being too gentle with someone and not properly articulating the seriousness of the lesson isn't any helpful either. Like, all love and peace and, you know, play nice and all that shit isn't always the best option to take with someone either. But the thing is, if you're going to be very nice and gentle with someone who's fucked up, or if you're going to go down the route of tough love, there has to be some form of constructive commentary in that. And again, it's just disappointing to see that, you know, someone's already struggling through a lot. He recognizes, he's fully self-aware that he's got a massive problem, even though he realizes he has a massive problem, but he still posted it, bless him. I guess he really needed to get it off his chest before he could move on. But yeah, just leave it at that, right? It's like, as you say, Dragon, it's a big part of lolcow culture, and it's something it's really something, it's a big part of why I don't like lolcow kind of culture. Don't get me wrong, I like laughing at, you know, people being retarded or stupid on the internet. It's a natural thing to like laugh at dumb people and dumb people doing stupid shit, but after about 5 minutes, it's like, okay, it's not funny anymore, it's just mean at this point, right? I know some people might think that's really gay to say, but there's a point where it's like, this isn't like funny anymore. It's neither constructive or funny. It's just like, what kind of miserable like fucking person obsessively archives the entire life of someone and then just has to permanently like put them down over what they do, unless it's something very serious. But yeah, it's not my cup of tea, that really. Oh my god. Like, I really want to be like a non-drama channel, but when you come up in here and you start talking about fucking Nugs Taku, I fucking hate Nugs Taku so much. But I don't want to start shit with Nugs at Taku though, because he's really not worth getting upset over, but he does really fucking annoy me. Now he looks like Joffrey Baratheon. Maulington doth protest too much, methinks. Yeah, you're probably right, VC Gaming. I'm fully self-aware. I am a very, very self-opinionated, very self-righteous, very arrogant English person. Is there no other form of English person, right? Is there any other kind of English person? I do fully recognize that, but again, that's part of my charm, I think. Part of my charm and part of the I don't know what you call it, the thing that also makes me equally insufferable at times is that I have an opinion and I like saying it. But the world would be a very boring place if people didn't say their worthless opinions, even though sometimes people should probably shut the fuck up and not bore us all to death with their dumbass opinions like V-tweeters. What do you mean you started talking about furries, maybe nature calls? What are you implying by that statement, Max Payne? Ninja Muffin, what do you mean, nature calls? I'm not a furry, okay? For the last fucking time, chat, the reason I went for a little cartoon furry Lion Man model was because I was just... Every VTuber is like a pink-haired cat girl, a green-haired cat girl, a silver-haired, fat-titted fox, or like a fucking twink demon or dog boy or cat boy VTuber. So I thought, hey, I'll be a little fucking lion Victorian, you know, infantryman. That sounds fun. That might be a nice little change. And then at the same time, because I'm using a furry model, you see, as part of my Machiavellian plan, because I'll be using a furry model, people will mock me for being a furry, even though I'm not one, and then I can use that for content. You see, Maulington is a genius. That's why I'm a major general at such a young age. Haha. Ikemen kind of suits you better. You're not that you're not that sour to be more manly. This isn't like I genuinely don't quite understand what you mean by that actually, Rushady. Hang on. Ikemen suits you kind of better. You're not that sour to be more manly. I think I get what you mean. So are you basically saying like I'm not perhaps like stoic and like gruff enough to be like a super manly VTuber, but I have enough kind of masculinity that the Ikemen look fits me better than like being basically being like a Merryweather, right? I think it's what you're saying, something like that. Yeah, this perfectly Sailor Moon and Lelouch. Oh yeah, actually, I guess I think Studio Clamp wasn't a design influence for this, but I could kind of see a little bit of Clamp in there. I think there are a subset of people who like kicking people when they're down. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I guess there's no secret. Everybody likes laughing at someone who like falls over or suffers damage, right? It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal human behavior, but yeah, I just find it distasteful. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan. I'm old enough to remember when John Hinckley Jr. almost killed Ronald Reagan because he wanted Jodie Foster to notice. I wasn't aware of that one. This problem has been around for all of my life and much longer than that. Probably been around since human history, like since man first like met each other on the sea pavelo, right? You know, you got the age-old memes of two cavemen with a club and there's a woman and caveman A goes, oh, woman, me want mate. And then he bashes caveman B over the head with the fucking club and then he takes the woman. Opportunistic sociopaths, yeah. I mean, it's just a part of general like internet culture in general. It's always been a thing with like gamers and funny internet forums. Like it's like I can't exactly pearl clutch myself because, as I've said before, I've been I was a Spurgy serving awful forums and EVE Online's goon for a very long time. So I've done my fair share of trolling and like griefing people in my time as well. But again, I'm not proud of it, and not to make myself feel any better or cope about it. This isn't a cope. Like I don't care. But it's kind of like I've always been one of those people though where I've been more inclined to grief and like annoy assholes rather than people who, you know, who haven't essentially done nothing wrong really. But this is the thing though, is it's like, again, that fits my personal definition, my perspective of what an annoying person or a dickhead is. So what I would consider to be, you know, a dickhead worth pissing off would be probably someone else would say didn't deserve it, right? So it's like I can't, none of us can, I think, like clutch our pearls and cry about people being mean and bullying, but I think that the lolcow stuff does go too far, and I think there's like this lack of self-awareness where people like you know, where people have like, there are people who've been following the exploits of Darkside Phil for 18 years now. I think I'm pretty sure Darkside Phil lolcow farming first started on Something Awful forums with the Retsapray section of it, like back in 2006 2007. And it's like, you know, you got people who've been following Darkside Phil for fucking 20 years. And, you know, people who've been doing that will then turn around and call, I don't know, a Vtuber-fan who really likes their Oshi or whatever, like an obsessed, creepy fucking weirdo. And it's like, well, excuse me, pal. At least we don't spend 20 years like obsessively chronicling the life of some, you know, arrogant, stuck-up dickhead who plays video games terribly. Like, get a fucking clue. But now at this point now, this is a new level of Maulington Schizo where I'm arguing with myself about people who probably don't exist. I fucking love arguing with myself. That's one of the best things about being a streamer. Is that I don't have to argue with myself anymore. I can just hit that go live button and I can scream at you instead, imaginary internet people. Is this the one guy in Gina's chat? Oh my god, how far am I behind? Oh fuck, I'm 10 minutes behind. Shit, I need to get a move on. Once I'm gonna go back to being 20 minutes behind. Oh, there he is. Yeah, feeding all one of the you bastard. You had to tempt fate. There it is. I addressed this at the very beginning of the stream, Theodore. Guys, I'm terribly sorry. This is completely all on me. I didn't jinx it. I didn't jinx it. I can just see the future. Unfortunately, I can just see the future, but unfortunately, I can only see the future a couple days in advance before anyone has any time to fix it. Sadly, it's my bad, guys, but to make up for it, I'm gonna delay the Face Connect documentary because it's already been a year since I've been working on the Face documentary. What's another month or so? I'm gonna delay the Face doc for probably about another month whilst I work on the Dizzy video remake. There we go, and then you'll be happy. Yeah. Then hopefully people will be happy. Hey, Liquid Bismuth. But I love your furry little lion guy. I love my furry little lion guy as well. The system will be, I'll always have Chibi Maulington. I'll always have the little scuffed furry lion. Will always be my video like avatar, and this one will be like my main streaming one, so you don't have to worry about the little guy going away. There is James May, but he's one of a kind. Yes, you see, there's no one that can replace James May. You see, yes, when I'm James May, I'm on a sprint. We need to get this car back in racing fit right away. But before I begin working on the car, the first thing I'm going to do is spend 2 hours making sure to properly file away all my spanners so that I know where they are when I need them. And then Jeremy, you blithering idiots, is going to be screaming in my ear, going, James! Come on, we need to move. No, Jeremy, wait a minute. No, I must find my vintage 1952 Jaguar spanner, Jeremy. I can't work without it. Blonde English is German. Hey, I'm not Aryan though. At least I managed to avoid the standard VTuber thing of being an Aryan. In my experience, the English come in a lot of interesting flavors. The Andy. Oh, actually, by the way, before I forget, some people say I sound posh, and I don't sound posh at all. Do I sound posh, guys? Do I sound posh and smug? Do I really sound posh and smug? I don't sound posh and smug, do I? Twink Demon and Catboy really are the male VTuber dichotomy. Yeah, I can't wait for you to be a streamer as well, Zero. Zero, when you're good to go with your VTubing, we need to collab, and we need to just like we need to be like the filthiest, loosest, like foul-mouthed, like fucking bunch of cunts, like in all the male VTubing. I think that would be a lot of fun, personally. Right? Just like two lower class, like a lower class English person and a lower class like Australian shooting the shit, I think would be like peak cinema. I think there's an opportunity there for something really magical or funny to happen, right? Like we gotta go down to fucking Woolies. Get on me fucking wheeler, cunt. Watch where you're going, dickheads. The British are always scheming. We're scheming at all times, yeah. Chat, we also need to speak the truth. There is a difference. Maulington lion form is more credible. Yeah, actually. People always bring that up. They brought it up in a debut that the furry style Maulington would actually work quite well as a marketable plushie. That was like a goal of mine to begin with. It'd be great if I could be a marketable plushie. But actually, I've got my own card in Oshi Push, the Oshi Push card game. And there's a potential they do indies as well, so maybe one day they might even like make a deck around me as well. So if I have my own VTuber card game card, like if there's like a Lord Maulington deck, I think that's way cooler than having a marketable plushie, right? Like be a deck in a card game. That'd be rad. I hope Oshi Push give me more cards and like enough cards to turn me into a deck. That'd be great. You have this 80s space villain aesthetic. Hell yeah, that's what I was going for. It was a huge struggle, honestly, to go for like a kind of short, kind of Shah or Quattro Bajira kind of hairstyle, like the weird Gundam anime boy hairstyle. Or originally I was going to go for something like really 80s, like the really long-haired, like Yamcha's hairstyle, basically. It was a choice between this and Yamcha's hairstyle, and it was so close I couldn't decide which one I liked more, so I'm going to have a Yamcha-style hairstyle at some point in the future. I just need enough money to fucking buy it, because outfits are expensive. It's like at least $1,000 for an outfit. So remember that when Lumi has her fucking 6th outfit, is that she's spending at least $1,000 per outfit, probably somewhere in the verge of like $3,000 to $4,000 per outfit. So that's where all your Lumi fucking super chat money is going, on a new outfit. She has more outfits than she does fucking shoes at this point, I think. But speaking of which, her new outfit, yeah, her new model is absolute fire. I fucking love it so much. A plushy, like, VTuber model. It's genius. I love it so much. Oh, sorry, one second. I've lost chat. If you talk to yourself, you have an advantage in streaming. Sorry, chat. I'm gonna get uncomfortably close. Don't worry. I brushed my teeth before chat. I brushed my teeth before I started streaming, so I'm just gonna get in your face a little bit so I can read chat. I just realised I'm currently in the Final Fantasy XIV version of India right now. Do not redeem. Do not redeem. Honestly, wild how long May's been in the auto game. He's been around since the 70s. Yeah. How long? I sound posh. Fuck's sake, I don't sound posh. Yeah. Fuck's sake. I sound posh and smug. Fuck. I sound southern. Well, yeah, you're right, Astasha. I'm southwestern, right? But I think most English people would be able to tell exactly where I'm from, because it's a bit of a it's not a unique accent by any means. It's like a very common regional accent from a certain part of the UK. Like if I spoke like most people from my part of the country did, then people would know where I'm from, right? It's like, oh, that's that. Oh, you only chopping it down because it's pointing of view. What's people moaning about? Right, my love. Oh, nobody tells me nothing. Or I get my combine harvester at 6 in the morning, and then I go down to Arkle's pub for a pint. Oh, I go right round the houses, get on my combine harvester, and I go to work, and I meet the fellas on the farm. There we go. It's all about the greater good, Nicholas. It's all about the greater good. Oh, you don't sound at all like received accent British. No, I don't at all sound like I have the received pronunciation. But there's still some people who say that I might sound a little bit like I come from money, you see. Smug, yes, posh, no. I think, yeah, I don't know why people... It's just an English thing. It's just all English people sound smug, but we're not meant to be. Like a pretty little pompufter. God, we're not allowed to say pufter in this country anymore, Zero. Saying pufter now in the UK it's homophobic, sadly. Oh, I always think of that scene in It Ain't Half Hot Mum, where they're all like in drag doing their little theatre show, and he goes, and the Sergeant Major comes in, and he's like, right, let's get a look at you lovely boys. Disgusting! Never before have I seen such a display of blatant puffery. Never in all my life! Well, Sergeant, shut up! Great show, that. I don't see many people talk about It Ain't Half Hot Mum. People always talk about stuff like Fawlty Towers or Monty Python. Underrated classic. It Ain't Half Hot Mum. Probably because you actually know how to articulate and pronounce. I think that's what it is, Ninja Muffin, you know. I was thinking about this because I do sound radically different to most people from my part of the woods. And I think it's because I grew up reading, like, all the time from a very young age. And so I'd seek out, like, the proper way to speak words that I didn't understand or know how to pronounce, right? Because you're a kid and you don't know. So I think, like, that's probably the reason why it probably gives me, like, an artificial sounding of intelligence and smugness and authority. You sound smug, but you don't have the posh vowels and drawl. Never get me fucking whaler. Me fucking whaler, come. Thank you very much for the $2, Eric, buddy. Are you gonna punish? Are you gonna punish? Are you gonna? I am gonna punish Lumi if she keeps having more merch sales. Are you gonna purchase a Lemon Harlot plushie? Oh, great, boys. Here we go. All right, Eric has started off the hourly Lord Maulington schizo rants about Lumi. Okay, here we go. Right, Kaneko Lumi has, and to an extent, Phase Connect. We'll get to Phase Connect in a minute. Actually, let's talk about Lumi for a second. Okay. Kaneko Lumi has had way too many fucking merch sales in the last year alone. Okay. Lumi's had at least 6 or 7 different fucking sales at this point. We've got the Lumi birthday sale, we've got the Phase Connect anniversary merch sale, we've got the Kaneko Lumi new outfit sale, we've got the Kaneko Lumi got dressed all by herself this morning special merch sale, we've got the Kaneko Lumi special Christmas sale, we've got the Kaneko Lumi April Fool's Day special merch sale, we've got the Kaneko Lumi Valentine's Day special voice pack merch sale, and we've got the Kaneko Lumi managed to eat something more than a fucking salad today special merch sale. We've got the Kaneko Lumi managed to not go to Starbucks today and at special merch sale. How many fucking sales does Lumi need? She has one every 5 minutes. And this is the problem with Phase Connect, is that we laugh, we joke about it, but Phase Connect merch takes way too fucking long to arrive as it is. Right, like as I said before many times, fucking Lumi's top guy, David CA6, ordered 2023 Kaneko Lumi merch in 2023, and he got it 1 week before the Kaneko Lumi 2024 birthday merch sale began, basically. So he waited an entire calendar year in order to get his fucking Lumi fucking VTuber merch, and it's like, Fishman, I ain't waiting a year for your merch, because not only do I have to wait a year for your dumb fucking merch to arrive when I could fucking get on a boat like across the border illegally from Mexico and get it my damn self from your fucking warehouse, is that the quality control on Phase Connect merchandise is non-existent. Like, Phase Connect merch is always like shit. It's even forget the quality control issues, it's just not, it's not from inception made by a particularly good publisher. Like, it's like Phase Connect's main like merch partner is inferior to shit like U2's and whatever shit as well. And not only is U2's quality tremendously higher than Phase Connect's shit that they sell, but you don't have to wait 10 years for U2's shit to arrive to you either. You get it in like a couple weeks or like a month or 2 or so. So Fishman wants us to spend an arm and a leg for merch that takes a year to arrive. The quality is complete dog shit, and oftentimes it's so dog shit you fucking have to send it back and then wait for it to come back again anyway when they send you a better one that actually works and doesn't have half the shit on it faded or broken or fallen off. And then there's a merch sale, there's a Phase Connect related merch sale every 3 days at this rate, it seems like. They do special merch sales over the most stupidest shit. It's like, oh, this Phase Connect VTuber has finally got a subscriber count that's 25 to the power of 4, and we're going to call that a special merch sale for some reason. So here you go, this Phase Connect VTuber has 25 to the power of 4 subscribers, so let's do a special merch sale for it. And then he wants to like charge like $40 for a cheap shitty piece of plastic as well. It's like, Fishman, most of your most of the Phase Connect fandom are broke fucking Mexicans. They don't have the money to be spending like $50 every other day on your cheap shit that takes a year to arrive. It's like, fucking stop, please. It's ridiculous. We don't need 50,000 subscribers special merch sales. Like, fucking stop. Make special merch sales special, or lower the prices, or like fix the fucking time it takes for it to arrive in the first place. You mean about all of Lumi's sales, but you'll buy them all, you fucking simp. You Irish. Look, I've made this, it's not a joke, I'm dead serious when I say this, okay? Lumi's been my cameo shoe now for nearly 4 years. We're coming up to 4 years. I've given Lumi no more money than Twitch, like Twitch Prime. I've given more money to Rie in the last year than I have to Lumi in 4 years, right? Trust me, I give my Oshis fuck all in terms of monetary compensation. You forgot the Kaneko Lumi retaking Moscow collection. Yes, but thank you for the $2, Eric. I got a bit caught up on my meme there. I forgot to properly thank you. Yes, we need the Kaneko Lumi escapes assassination by communist swine special VTuber merch. Yeah. Kaneko Lumi is a demon who sustains herself on this realm with the despair of her fans for not being able to afford all the merch. There could be an honest. Who's the demon in Dante's Inferno associated with greed? Is Beelzebub the demon of greed? It's Beelzebub, isn't it? Beelzebub is the demon of greed. But if you think about it, Lumi's had like 3 different fucking Dakimura sales at this point. I'm pretty sure every other Phase Connect VTuber has had one Daki sale, and Lumi's had 3. She really is a greedy whore, that lemon whore. She's fucking, nothing's ever good enough for her. She just endlessly consumes all your money. I wasn't going to say it until I heard back from FaZe, but I'm currently missing 4 items from my delivered order. Fucking hell. That's the other thing about FaZe Connect, is that you wait a year for for your fucking order to arrive, and it's not, they fucking miss half of it anyway. I won't just casually buy FaZe merch anymore. I've had 6 separate orders that took 9 months. Yeah, I mean, I'm currently doing like a monthly review of all the different FaZe coffees, and so far, the 2 coffees I've ordered so far arrived in 4 days, which is like fucking mental, right? My first bunch of coffees took 4 months to arrive, and by that point, given how long they've been in the factory, I probably sat around not doing anything. They're already like probably reaching their expiry date by that point anyway. An important announcement, Gorgura. I see you weren't joking. Well, at least there's a 1% chance it could be good news. We'll have to wait and see. Speaking of drama, yeah, the FaZe Connect fandom at the moment, I think for the last couple of years, and to be fair, I've been a bit of a bastard with this as well, but the FaZe Connect fandom has really pissed off and alienated a lot of other people in this industry, I think, with their like fucking smugness about how smooth FaZe Connect has been. Like when I made that meme about, you know, FaZe Connect fans being smug and how it's our turn soon, I should have worded it differently, right? Basically what I was trying to get at with that meme is that FaZe Connect fans have been like really fucking smug, and they've been like laughing at other VTuber fandoms, like corporate VTubing fandoms, for all the drama, the graduations, and the shit that's been going on there. So I just kind of wanted to, you know, have a little joke and knock them down a peg or two and be like, yeah, these smug fuckers have it coming now because of all the bullshit they do. But yeah, I think most of us know, you know, about the FaZe fags and the FaZe keks and all the other shit that people call FaZe Connect fans. But it's like, yeah, I do think I do wince and I do roll my eyes sometimes when there's been like a graduation in HoloLive, or there's been like a VTuber corporation goes bust, and you know, these other fandoms don't even get like 2-3 minutes of peace to fucking grieve about their corporation like cascading or their favorite VTuber graduating before you get these certain kinds of FaZe fans basically like break through the fucking window like a SWAT team and start going, Fishman, last man standing, FaZe Connect supremacy, Fishman wins again, get fucked idiots, FaZe Connect last man standing, FaZe Connect number 1, fuck you all, fucking fucked idiots. And it's like, guys, for Christ's sake, you can't, like, a VTuber corporation and all its VTubers have basically just gone bust through there's been no drama, there's been no black company shenanigans. People are sad the Roshis are graduating and potentially might not come back to VTubing, and you're fucking coming in here, you're going into other people's communities and you're laughing at them, right? And then you'll bring in like FaZe Connect shit in there. It's like, come on, don't do that. That's fucking, it's like one thing to mock Niji Sisters and Niji Sanji because they have it coming, but come on, don't fucking, you know, go around bullying other fandoms on their own turf like 5 minutes after a graduation notice. Have a bit of decorum, fucking hell. Kevin is Chinese, what did you expect? God, there's so many fucking memes I want to make in the FaZe documentary about Sakana being Chinese, but I'm genuinely worried. Even I'm worried that I might be going a bit too far with the racism. We'll see if I have the balls to put them in. I do feel perhaps a little bit too emboldened at the moment to be a little bit racist in a funny way. I need to be cancelled, and I need to be put in my place a little bit, if I'm being honest. One of these days, there will be a VTuber convention within driving distance, and I'll just go and buy the merch in person. Fuck this mail, all the bullshit. Yeah, I mean, you should just ask the Air Force to borrow one of their Pavlos. Just rent a Pavlo for the evening to go get your Face Connect merch. I haven't really seen that. I've seen it a little bit. I've seen it. It's not like a massive amount of people, but it's enough people for it to be noticeable. Yeah, 4chan, dude, yeah. The thing is, as I said before, I don't like 4chan, I never go on 4chan, but I always, a lot of people in VTubing, because obviously 4chan's a big anime thing, is that I kind of learn it's like secondhand from other people about the shenanigans of 4chan. Oh, by the way, speaking of 4chan, are there any PCG guys here? Like, how's PCG doing with the Sheena and Dizzy news? Is PCG okay? Or is PCG on fire? Or is I think 4chan in general is on fire at the moment because of the fucking Janny doxing nonsense going on, right? I think 4chan's in a bit of trouble at the moment. Speaking of the 4chan drama, I saw someone in the comment section of that tweet say, I bet the Something Awful forum goons are feeling really smug right about now. And even though I'm not a Something Awful forums goon anymore, yeah, I do feel a little bit smug about watching 4chan being in the shit. It'll be my turn soon though. I mean, it's not my turn soon. We've already had our turn. Modern day Something Awful forums is complete garbage. Completely gone downhill. Gone to shit, that site. FaZe fans are so frick, you get the brick that they don't want to mess, which is good. Yeah. The Eternal Mandarin. It's the third place Olympic. Yeah, that's a perfect way of saying it, GD. It is the third place Olympic winner meme. That's a brilliant way of saying it. Protection is better than cure and treating or something. Yeah. Man, I'm sweating fucking bullets of Shipkin Idol. Brave as a fucking graveyard on the closet. Yeah. Yeah, I feel really bad now as well, because if you remember, Shady, nearly about 10 months ago now, 11 months ago, when I mentioned Lisa's move to Idol, I did say at the time that she's making a mistake and that Idol probably isn't going to last much longer, or at least as long as Face Connect will. And yeah, I don't know at this point. I think I was right on that one as well. We'll see. Oof, yikes. But the thing is, though, about VTuber corporations is that VTuber corporations in general are a little bit of an enigma. They are a little bit of a paradox, because the whole appeal of VTubing really, the whole appeal of streaming in general, generally speaking, is it's about unfiltered. It's about an unfiltered broadcast of a personality, really. So the idea of like contracted corporate streaming sounds like, in theory, it sounds like it shouldn't make any sense, because how can you have like a proper streaming experience when you control what the streamer does, what they say, and how they can behave? So I think for corporate VTubing to have lasted as long as it has is a bit of an enigma, honestly. It's done very well to have lasted as long as it has, but I think inevitably I think pretty much most of corporate VTubing is going to come to an end, particularly as independents have over the years radically like upped their game, which they've had to do in order to compete, and people get like fed up, I guess, with the kind of standardized template model that corporate VTubing often provides against the more spontaneous stuff that independents do. I think like back in the day, corporate VTubing used to actually be more innovative and used to actually lead trends in VTubing, at least like Hololive did. And over time, that's kind of like shifted a little bit now, where I think the independent VTubers are now actually leading the way on innovative ways to deliver content, whereas the corporate, except for Hololive is still like an industry leader, but I think most VTuber corporations now, they've kind of hit that period where they just want to play it safe so that they can maximize their profits, so that they can continue operating basically in this economy. And that's another problem with VTuber corporations, is that they're considerably more, I think, susceptible to major catastrophic economic events than independent VTubers. Independent VTubers suffer from, you know, terrible global economy as well, because obviously if everyone's poor, then you're going to get fewer, you know, super chats, donations, fewer people buying your merch anyway. But when you're obviously when you're a private individual making like the lower end of 6 figures a year, the global economy being in crisis is significantly less dangerous and noticeable to you than it would be like a multi-billion dollar global operation, right? Because they have investors and considerable amount of capital investments, which a private individual doesn't. So I guess that's kind of like the other thing that sets VTuber corporations back, is it's like, yeah, at the moment we're in the green. We're in the green at the moment, but there's no guarantee we'll be in the green in 6 months' time. We could be very deep in the red, and it may take us a year and a half, 2 years maybe, to get back to the green, if we even can. And I think that's the thing, I guess, the kind of tangent about where I think Phase Connect is going. I'm like 10 minutes behind chat again. But I'll read chat again in a minute. Here's what I think about kind of like the state that Phase Connect is going. I do wonder if Phase Connect would actually be better off at its current size and not expanding anymore, both in terms of talent and in terms of, as well, in terms of not the fan base not expanding too much, really. And the reason why I say that is because I think a lot of the appeal of Phase Connect does come through the dynamic between talent, the agency itself, and the fandom. One of the things Phase Connect does very well is talent and corporation do a fantastic job of putting us, the fandom, kind of in at the center of what they do. Like, it's as each talent has become bigger, they certainly struggled to keep on top of like super chats and who their regular community members are. But no one Phase Connect VTuber, really, not even Pippa, is at that point of size yet where they're too big to basically, you know, where they have to ignore chat because it's going too fast and it's too big for them to handle. And I do wonder that if Phase Connect continues expanding, it's going to overstretch itself a little bit. And then what's going to happen is they're going to start recruiting the wrong people who don't fit into Phase Connect as well. Because the thing is, Sakana has this issue. He's got this problem where he needs certain talent, he needs people with certain skills, he needs to bring them in to enhance and to offer something different so it makes sense for them to fit within Phase Connect. But the problem is that he may potentially have to overlook people who are a better organizational fit but don't have the talents that he's looking for. And what he's going to probably end up doing at some point is that famous Sakana monkey's paw, that famous Sakana eye for talent, is it's gonna fuck up, and he's gonna start recruiting the wrong people, and it's gonna cause a gradual domino effect internally, where it's gonna cause like a lot of drama within the company. Because the last thing Sakana wants to do is recruit someone who lies through their teeth and acts like a good fit for Phase Connect, but you know, this person like fucking despises chuds and actually hates like a good portion of the community and can't help but, you know, Politisberg, right? And those who know that we already kind of low-key have that problem a little bit already, but it's not too bad yet because she hasn't broken containment, right? We know, I think some of us know who I'm talking about that, so it's not too bad. But this is the problem, right? Is that there's already an in Phase Connect for that rot to build up and get worse. So I do wonder if if it is better for Phase Connect to not actually continue expanding and becoming more mainstream and actually keeping themselves at their current level so that it keeps the purity of the company and it remains and it keeps those special things that make Phase Connect special in the first place. But then at the same time, the problem that Kevin has is that many Phase Connect VTubers do want to continuously expand and become like really big, high CCV, you know, mega idols on the same level as Hololive. So if Sakana doesn't facilitate Phase Connect's eternal continuing growth, then he might lose some of his star players anyway. And then the other problem as well is that obviously if he keeps all his eggs in one basket, eventually his star talents are going to get bored and are going to want to stop Vtubing or go independent. And if he doesn't recruit, you know, replacements, then the whole thing is going to come tumbling down anyway. So I do think it's inevitable, except maybe Hololive. I think maybe Hololive is the one exception of a VTuber corporation who is quite resilient to that eventual fail cascade. I don't think any VTuber corporation, bar Hololive, can really like survive as long as this industry does. Do think the future is going to be heavily weighted in Hololive's development of 3D performances and idol shit, and like independent VTubers like inventing weird new shit, basically. Anyway, after going on that rant, let me try to catch up with chat a little bit. Would love for Sheepy to become an invader because she's so nice, deserves more. Only VTuber where I genuinely like the original music. Yeah, I really like Lisa. Lisa's lovely. I think, I'm pretty sure most of the FaZe Connect VTubers themselves really like Lisa. Obviously, she's good friends with Pippa. Does Lisa fit within FaZe Connect? That's the question, right? I think if you look at it from like a business perspective, you're Sakana, and you're thinking with, you know, your business sense and not your heart. Is there a place for Lisa within FaZe Connect? I'm not sure there is really, because when I think of Lisa, I think that she would essentially clash. Clash isn't the right word, but she would overlap too much, I think, with people like Rooney and Sheena, right? It's just like, if you've already got Rooney Ruse and a Managawa Sheena, I don't really see why you'd need Lisa, because she feels it, because again, you could kind of say that Lisa is an amalgamation of Sheena and Rooney. So it's like, I don't, and the thing is as well, there's already an awful lot of overlap between Sheepy fans and FaZe Connect fans. So it's not like you're bringing, so if you brought her on as an invader, it's not like you're bringing a new fandom into the fold anyway. You're just, again, it's a continuous cycle of FaZe Connect like cannibalizing its own fan base, right, and trying to spread its really core loyal audience like as thinly as possible, which will probably cause FaZe Connect some issues as well in the long term. I truly believe that, oh wait, hang on a minute, no, I'm not quite caught up. Making company out of streamers sounds absolutely retarded. It does, right? Making a company out of streamers sounds retarded, and it's kind of worked with VTubing, but I think we'll see like more failed cascading, and we'll start to see like no new independent small VTubing firms start to form within the next year or so. Honestly, what's been promoted more? Phase of Lumi or Loot Box with Ria's figures? Yeah, I can see a future where it's only FaZe v Shoujo and Sanria. Hololive FaZe v Shoujo and Sanria. Or Sanria. I don't think I've heard of them, which is probably embarrassing. I tell you what I do like though. I do quite like he says as he's forgotten the name of it now. Oh wait, hang on a minute. No, they're dead now, aren't they? Yeah, I like, oh fucking Aegis Link. That's it. I was thinking of Aegis Link. Yeah, I really like Triggerfish from Aegis Link. Those Aegis Link VTubers, I like them. They have a very curious art like design for their generation there. I'm pretty sure each VTuber in Aegis Link's first generation has a radically different art style, which I think is interesting. But I really do like Triggerfish because she is a fellow British. I'm glad I never registered with an email or anything. I didn't even know you could like register on 4chan with an email. I thought the whole point of 4chan was that you were an anon. Well, I don't understand why people are registered with their email. That defeats the whole purpose of 4chan. If you want to like talk on a board of or a forum of some kind with an identification, go on, use Kiwi Farms or the Something Awful forums or something. Well, yeah, not Kiwi Farms because you want to get away from doxers, right? as quickly as much as you can. That's a sad thing. That's something that I find quite sad about Kiwi Farms, is that Kiwi Farms is very much the continuation of the old Something Awful forums. But sadly, for the old Something Awful forums is still a place where people on there weren't like dickheads enough where you could form genuine like gaming communities and like meet other goons in person for like a barbecue. It was that close knit. And yeah, the sad thing about Kiwi Farms is it's replaced its close knit gaming culture with an obsession with like doxing and lolcow hunting, which I find quite sad. I need a good alternative to the Southern Awful forums, and sadly I don't think there is one at the moment. 4chan drama. Yeah, that was what I was talking about earlier. Parrot is now panicking, wondering how to pay his rent now 4chan is down. Yeah, I saw someone make a funny tweet about that. It's like 4chan, someone had sent a tweet to Gator saying Parrot 4chan's out of a job. And I was like, Parrot 4chan's lost his job? What, like his real job? Oh, right, yeah, of course. Now 4chan's burning down. Poor Parrot's not going to have any content to work with anymore. Although the thing is, with Parrot 4chan though, is that I think Parrot 4chan is naturally funny enough, he's naturally entertaining enough, that he really doesn't need to like piggyback off a 4chan schizo post to be a solid content creator. Parrot could make good like original content or do other forms of commentary. He doesn't need the 4chan schizo stuff to keep doing what he's doing. I think Parrot will be fine, honestly. He's a really funny guy, is Parrot, and he's got fantastic delivery of his lines as well. It's weird, I wouldn't know where to go, rub it in, pretty much stick to the PC Discord. Yeah, well, this is the thing, right? Some Faith Connect fans are really good, and a lot of Faith Connect fans love like HoloLive and other VTuber corporations, but there are people out there who are like, anyone who isn't Faith, you know, they do the whole sports ball, you know, my team is best team, other team is shit kind of thing. Yeah, 4chan needs to update everything long ago, that's right. That's why you should always use a burner account, by the way, when signing up to these dodgy websites. Always use a burner email account, because that email is going to get leaked. It might not get leaked today, might not get leaked this year, next year, in 10 years it's all coming out. 4chan got taken down by a rival image board hacker group. Oh yeah, the guys who take them down, who took it down, I saw something about it being QA. Was it QAnon who took 4chan down? I don't really know what QAnon is either, really. It's a name I get seen thrown around a lot. I don't really know what that is. That's so weird. Like, doxing's been around since the 90s, or the 80s, I can't remember which. I'm pretty sure, if I remember my internet history, doxing actually came from a guy back in the floppy disk era of information sharing who like leaked information of his co-workers or something who pissed him off. So doxing's always been a thing. But I don't know, I feel like since around about 2016, 17, there's been this really weird, massive surge in obsession with doxing in the internet. It's like people these days seem to have this attitude of someone on the internet said something I don't like about one of my favorite anime, therefore I'm going to dox this person and like endlessly harass and threaten to kill his family and like stalk this person for the rest of my life. And it's like, where the fuck did these people come from? Like, why are people obsessed with doing that these days? I think we need to ban autistics from the internet, I think, at this rate. Letting autistics from the internet was a terrible idea, personally. Then the problem is, if we banned autistics from the internet, then fucking none of us would be here. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we should be banned from the internet. Yeah, it's really hard to say, but the rise of India is due. Oh, please no. Oh, rise of Indie? Sorry. I'll try not to hate post about Indians on this stream. I misread Indians. Fucking Pavlovian conditioning. Do not redeem, chat. Sir. The success of VTube is a testimony to how much people hunger for authenticity these days. Sure, VTubers may be crude, lewd, racist, whatever, but people enjoy an honest reaction. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think that's a big part of the reason why Faith Connect is so popular as well. It's because a lot of VTubers, particularly in the early days, actually weren't very genuine at all. They tend to well, not at the very, very beginning, actually. HoloLive actually started off quite genuine, but there was that kind of weird early, like, just post-COVID period where people were kind of getting obsessed with the whole pristine, perfect, like, idol kind of presentation with VTubing. And I think part of what made FaZe Connect so successful is that they were the one up-and-coming VTuber corporation who wasn't some dumb, like, idle Hololive clone. And that they, many of them were, I wouldn't exactly call them genuine as such, because Pippa was, I wouldn't exactly say Pippa was, she's kind of half and half. She was half, like, you know, pretending to be idle, schizo rabbit, half genuinely mentally unwell. But again, yeah, Leah in her early days wasn't particularly genuine either, but it's kind of like, I think the appeal, like, kind of like the culture of FaZe Connect is it's at that halfway point where they still act fake enough. They still put on a performance, like a kind of mask as entertainers, that you can suspend your disbelief and have fun with it. But at the same time, they do have those more, like, vulnerable and I guess kind of like open and real moments that it actually allows you to kind of build an interest and some kind of form of attachment to them. This is kind of like there's always like a dispute, there's always like an argument over like parasocialism and what that constitutes. And it's like, I'm kind of the opinion that parasocialism is about dependency and obsession, not having any form of emotional attachment to someone. Because again, it's like, how do you define an emotional attachment, right? Because it's like, I really enjoy Tenma. I would call Tenma, I would definitely call Tenma an Oshi. She's my second favorite VTuber. But even though I like Tenma enough to call her an Oshi as such, she isn't really an Oshi, because I genuinely feel absolutely zero emotional like connection to Tema whatsoever. Right, like, outside of natural human empathy of, oh, I don't want Tema to be sad, or I don't want Tema to, you know, have something bad happen in her life. Like, I don't care about, like, I don't care about Tema like whatsoever. I watch Tema 100% purely for the entertainment value. So yeah, it's always a I've always find it interesting to see how people kind of take to their favorite VTubers. Honestly, the Gura thing is kind of expected. She rarely streamed, sales not as high. It was kind of said about being said. Oh, Christ, have we already signed Gura off that she's graduating? I did see the thumbnail for that stream. I don't know if has it actually happened yet, or is it like a scheduled stream that's coming up? But one thing that, again, going back to kind of like FaZe Connect schizo is always causing drama in other communities. When Senzawa posted that fish tweet, and it's that fucking, I'm pretty sure Gura has to be trolling, like deliberately trolling people with that. Because like it started off a lot of FaZe Connect fans who were going, oh, Gura, FaZe Invader Gura? Is Gura going to FaZe Connect? It's like, guys, Gura isn't going to fucking FaZe Connect. Okay, Gura is worth more than the entire market capitalization of FaZe Connect. Okay, like, it's the same thing when Fauna was graduating. People were going, oh, Fauna's graduating. Fauna to guys, can you imagine Fauna going to FaZe Connect? Fauna to FaZe Connect, guys, is it happening? Fauna to FaZe Connect, and it's like, guys, people like Gura and Fauna are like them as individuals worth more than the entire market capitalization of FaZe Connect. It's not happening. If anything, Fauna and Gura could buy Fishman. Fishman isn't buying those two. Like, fucking settle down. Yeah, FaZe is at a good size right now. I do think FaZe, oh my god, I'm 20 minutes behind, fuck. I do think FaZe is at a good size right now. I think for god, it's hard. Fishman's in a difficult position. I do think he's gonna fuck up, and he's gonna hire some people he shouldn't have done, and it's gonna cause problems. But I should probably not say that, because my loose words have already caused one drama. I've caused enough drama. I should shut up and start saying any positive things about FaZe Connect so it comes true. But I am concerned about further expansion of the company. FaZe Connect just needs to settle into a nice sustainable battle rhythm, at least until all the current chaos in the industry settles down. Yeah, I do wonder what the financials of FaZe Connect looks like at the moment. I think I do wonder if all these merch sales with FaZe Connect is a sign that Fishman is struggling for cash, or foresees himself struggling for cash. So he's trying to, you know, stack himself up a nice coffer so he can weather the storm. But I do wonder at the same time, though, like how much of this merch is he actually able to shift? Is he losing money on all these merch sales? I would certainly hope if he was losing money on all these merch sales, then he'd stop doing it. But I don't know. The Fishman does seem, actually, to be fair to Sakano, he does actually seem quite fiscally responsible. He does understand that trying to invest your way, trying to invest your way out of the red is a bad idea, right? Like, he took a risk of Generation 2, but he was at least, with his expansion into Generation 2, despite being in the red, at least it made sense there, where he was like, I'm still in the red, but there's like a potential here to go in the green, right? I'm not investing in a second generation to fix the crashing financials. It's more of a case of the financials are looking good enough that it does make sense to expand into a second generation, even though we're still in the red, kind of thing. Sakano should invest more into talents instead of growth. I think he is. I think he's doing a lot of that. It's about whether the talents themselves want to do that. It's always worth remembering, right? It's like, does a VTubing talent actually want to be an idol? Not all of them. A lot of them do. Not all of them do. Some of them do just want to be a silly character streaming themselves doing shit. But I've been impressed with the little school event that FaZe Connect has just concluded recently, I must admit. I've not been impressed really with the vast majority of projects that FaZe Connect has done over the years that were like designed to bring in outsiders and interest people already in the community. Like, a big part of the reason why the FaZe Connect documentary has been so delayed is because Phase Wars 1 was so incredibly shit that it made me want to, almost made me want to kill myself. Like, it made me want to graduate FaZe Connect. Phase Wars 1 is so shit. It took me 4 or 5 months to watch the final day of Phase Wars. It was that shit. It's that bad. And there's been a lot of little events and things going on within FaZe Connect over the years, and I was always like really underwhelmed with what they thought would be like a good like company event. But Phase Wars 2 was good. Hag Garden, I didn't like Hag Garden that much. Hag Garden was okay, but yeah, Hag outside, like for outsiders, I don't think Hag Garden was very good. I think Hag Garden was too gimmicky. But Phase Wars 2 and this school thing, and you know, I liked Mahjong as well. The Mahjong collab was fun. Those 3 I thought were pretty good. So if we can get more like group company events at the same quality as this school thing, then I would be more optimistic about FaZe Connect's future. But I don't know. I do wonder at the moment if they are burning an awful lot of cash and starting to steer themselves into financial trouble. We'll see. That is Pippa cash out moment if the company goes public in Wall Street or gets extremely big, jumping ship. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, forget about that. Pippa's been a streamer for a very long time. It's statistically speaking, she's already a massive anomaly for being a streamer as long as she has. And that's just like when you take into account streamers who just record themselves playing the same old boring fucking video game. For a streamer to have been going for like 6-7 years, I don't know what the percentiles are off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it's like less than 5% of streamers go on for 7 years. So yeah, for people might just get bored and like fed up over the next year or two, maybe. There's always that risk. Oh, actually, let me check the fan funding as well. Thank you very much for the $2 again, Eric, buddy. The shark is leaving. Checkmate, it's over. Yeah, I guess the more cynical people would say that if the leaving of the old guard of HoloLive continues and then HoloLive folds under, then fucking unironic FaZe Connect #1 VTuber corporation, wouldn't that be a sight? Fucking hell, imagine that. Imagine if FaZe Connect really is the last VTuber corporation standing. Fuck me. Oh, that's not happening. That's not happening at all in a million years, but that would be kind of funny, I guess. Are we sure it's just not another late April 1st joke? You know what I really do enjoy is I really enjoy it's probably not a conspiracy theory, but I do love it how every time Niji Sanji has a big event on, like Gura streams on the same day, and she completely like fucking mogs them viewer-wise. That's so funny. She has to be doing it deliberately, and I fucking love her so much for doing it. That's peak humor. Oh dear. How do you feel about the oh fucking hell, I can't get my words out. Hello, Intero Bang. How do you feel about the smaller streamers that spend a lot of direct time with their community in games and VC as such? I guess it depends. It depends on, are you talking about someone like me, like a male VTuber, or are you talking about a female VTuber and their community? And then it's also about, okay, is it female VTuber to mostly male community? What kind of interactions are these? What do you mean by direct time? Are they playing video games together? Are they like, is the VTuber treating their YouTube, treating their Discord or their YouTube community section as like their personal diary? Give me a little bit more. Give me a little bit more on the specifics of what you're asking there, Interbang, and I'll be able to answer that better. Hey, Zevrock, how's it going, buddy? The best thing Leah ever did was have her mom stream with her. Made it seem so much more genuine human, bouncing off her mom's personality. Yes, agree, Pablo. I think I think many people would probably agree with this. I do believe that Rin Mama is unironically FaZe Connect's greatest VTuber, right? I do unironically think that Leah's mother is FaZe Connect's best VTuber. I really do. The woman is hilarious, and she's got such a natural charisma and charm to her. I love Leah's mother. Not in a sexual way though, like most of the chat. Platonically, entertainer-wise, I love Leah's mother. But yeah, I did a video on Leah, and I spent half the Leah video talking about Leah's mother. But funnily enough, that Leah video is actually what got Nyana Banyana to subscribe to me, funnily enough, I think. Pretty sure, since she worships Leah so highly. Sadly, I've lost the Nyana Banyana subscription. Big sad. She was my biggest subscriber. Never mind. I need to find a new big VTuber now to get a subscription from, so for me to get smug about. I didn't watch VTubing until FaZe because it all seemed like manufactured idol content for obsessive fans and gooners. Very brave of you to say that, Professor K. But admittedly, that's my same takeaway as well. I was exactly the same way as you. It's been a while since I've kind of spoken about my journey as to how I became a VTuber fan. I'll say it again since it's been so long. But yeah, when I first became a VTuber fan, watching Kizuna AI. And at first I thought VTubing was great because in the name Kizuna AI, I thought Kizuna AI was like a real AI. I wasn't stupid enough to think she was really playing the games, but I thought it was like the Japanese like made this AI that would react to gameplay and video and shit. And I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I love technology. I love seeing this little. Basically, I thought Kizuna AI was Neuro-sama. Basically, is what I thought. So I thought Kizuna AI was Neuro-sama. And then when I found out that Kizuna AI was a real person, I was like, this is boring as shit now. I don't like it. And then, because of the mysterious way the YouTube algorithm works, because I'd watched like 2 hours of a VTuber, of like one video of a VTuber, like YouTube for the next like year, like for the next fucking year, was like, Maulington, you clearly like VTubers, here you go. I'm going to drown you in endless clips of fucking VTubers from Hololive. Here, watch these VTubers from Hololive. You love VTubing, Maulington. You watched Kizuna AI for 2 hours, now watch it. And I was like, one day I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, if you get this shit off my homepage, I'll watch it. So I think like the first proper bit of VTubing I ever watched was a clip of that clip of Korone playing Banjo-Kazooie, and it was a clip where she was going for like 3 minutes straight, and then I just see the chat, right, and the chat is just full of Japanese people throwing her money and screaming cute and going fucking ballistic in the chat, and that was my first like real serious exposure to VTubing and the fandom. So naturally, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, this VTubing thing is a bunch of cringe, gay, weeb, simp nonsense. And these fucking, like, parasocial weirdos are chucking all this money at, like, a 40-year-old woman who thinks they're fucking stupid and gross and weird. And I mean, I wasn't wrong. That completely is what VTubing is. Like, I had no chill or respect for VTubing at the time. And then eventually what happened was, I discovered Girl DM in like the summer of 2020, I think it was. I think it was summer 2020 when she had a 3D model debut. And like Girl DM she's basically like a dad joke telling like sassy Canadian woman who had like a fantastic, like the best tracking 3D model still to this day. Like even though it's been 5 years, her first 3D model has the most expressive tracking I've ever seen. And she had like she has a natural ability for visual comedy and comedic timing. So when I saw that kind of VTubing, I was like, fuck yeah. Okay, I actually like this VTuber. This is good VTubing. I like this. I don't like the Japanese baby noises shit. I like this VTubing. And then eventually what happened is when I discovered Lumi as well, and I watched Lumi for kind of the same reasons. I was like, yeah, Lumi, old Cyberlife Lumi is very girly, very womanly, and very, you know, she's clearly pandering to the male VTuber fandom, right, with some of the shit she says and does. But she plays like based RTS games, strategy games, sci-fi stuff, and she's actually quite funny, and she has a quite down-to-earth sense of humor. So I was like, oh, okay, I like this VTuber as well. I like this one, even though she's really fucking weird and VTubery. I like this one. And then when Lumi kind of moved to Phase Connect, that was the big moment where I went like a full level into being a VTuber fan. So basically, eventually the long story short is I had to be eased into VTubing before I fully got it and respected it. I had to be eased into it. Where if you tried to drop like the cute girls doing cute things stuff on me instantly, it's like, yeah, I rejected it wholesale. I was like, no, this is fucking stupid. So now, after about 5 years of watching 6 years technically, of watching VTubers, now I'm like, yeah, okay, now I get it. Now I understand the appeal of people like Pecora and Corone. I still don't really like them that much, but at least now I'm not offended by that kind of stuff anymore. And that's kind of like, I think one of the things that works well for Phase Connect is that they act like a good gateway into VTubing, because they're not offensive enough with the weird cringe, like stupid shit. I don't think they're that strong enough with it that it will scare fence sitters away. And then like exposure to Phase Connect over time, you then start to develop a healthy respect for the industry as a whole, or you just stick to Phase Connect basically, I think. Or maybe you might pivot over to Shondo, maybe. But I really like Shondo. Shondo's really fucking... Shondo's funny. Oh, it's sad. VTubers are at their funniest, I think, when they're at their most mentally ill, which is sad. I'm glad that Fauna is still streaming. Her indie model is cute too. Yeah, this is the thing. People always go on about how deal-breaking having a good model is to like your VTubing career and being successful. It really isn't, really. I mean, I managed to make a decent enough following with a little scuffed chibi lion that cost me $50 and took 2 days to make. Ultimately, it's who you are and the content you do that shines through, not the model. This is just like I mean, a model is like it's a force multiplier. It doesn't really generate a lot of it doesn't make you in and of itself. It's a force multiplier. So 1.2 times 0 is still 0, right? If you've got nothing there, having a good model doesn't help anything. Literal pay clippers like Fillion and Expand. Yeah, the tariffs are probably going to screw him much. Yeah. Hey, Creamer. With great power comes great responsibility. Exactly, well said. She won't join Faves, but it would be funny. It would be fucking funny. She'd probably, I think if you were someone of Guru's caliber and you join another VTuber corporation for shits and giggles, you really would like phone it in, right? Because what the fuck does she have to be worried about? She should be just fine on her own. The space drama for Euphoria was pretty peak. It was pretty peak, Seth. I agree with you there. Actually, I forgot about that. That was all right. Yeah. I liked Hype Garden quite a bit. I understand the appeal of Hag Garden. Again, it's like Hag Garden's a little bit, I just found it a little bit too one note, a little bit too gimmicky. I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, very, very funny. Hags and, you know, bills and, you know, what do you call them? Like carabet bars and yeah. Okay, yeah, I get it. Okay. So move on, do something different. Shondo is cute and funny. Yes, she's cute and funny. Cute and funny. Cunny, yes. Hey, oh, handsome bro, stop liking my Yoshi. No, I like Phase Connect. They have a lot of good VTubers. Or I guess actually, probably thinking about you, probably referencing someone HoloLive related. I don't know. Were you talking about Girl DM? Is Girl DM your Yoshi? Girl DM's a very strange case, Girl DM, you know. A lot of people watch Girl DM, but I never see any Girl DM fans in the fucking wild. It's really bizarre. I don't know how Girl DM could be so successful, yet I don't fucking see any presence of the fans anywhere. Hey, Citrine. Rin Mama versus Papakin, who's more popular? In terms of sheer popularity, I think it's Papakin, because obviously Pippa is a bigger streamer, so she's got more eyes on her. But in terms of skill, I think Rin Mama sweeps everybody though. Rin Mama is the supreme being, I think. She gives feet for free. Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, she does. Fucking feet are gross. I'm with Lumi on this one. Feet are gross. Don't like feet. Now thighs. Thighs are nice. I like thighs. But feet? Ugh, gross. Ugh. Rin Mama Goat. Hell yeah, boys. Muyu does quite a bit of community stuff. Sadly, originally I thought Muyu was going to be like my favourite member of Phase of fucking hell. What's Phase Generation 3 called again? Phase Euphoria, right? Generation 3. Yeah, I thought Muyu was going to be my favourite member of Phase Euphoria. In the end, it ended up being Saya Soroxis, which is sad. And then Saya left. At first, I was like, what won me over with Mu is not only is she like an incredible character actress, but again, she's like a Paradox, like mega nerd, right? And she's actually pretty good at video games. So I was like, oh, finally a Phase Connect VTuber that doesn't fucking suck dick at video games, and another Phase Connect VTuber who plays based shit other than Lumi and Jerry. Finally. But yeah, I really like Saya's personality. I think that I've always thought about like what attracts me to a VTuber, like why do I like the VTubers that I do? And I think the biggest thing for me is like personality. I know that a lot of people, I think that like the general VTuber fan tends to chase like memes or ridiculousness or like exaggerations. So kind of what I mean by that, right, is that if you ask the average Pippa fan or like the average VTuber fan what they know about VTubers or popular VTuber, then they tend to like regurgitate or they tend to just state a meme or like a characteristic or like a label, but they can't really articulately describe what that VTuber's content is about or why they like them. So kind of what I mean is that if you ask I wouldn't call them capitalists, but if you like ask the average Pippa viewer, for example, you're like, why do you watch Pippa? What do you like about Pippa? Like, who is Pippa? What is Pippa? And they'll go, and the first thing most people say is they go, oh, Pippa's based, yeah, based Pippa, based rabbit. And it's like, okay, go on, yeah. What does that mean? Oh yeah, she talks about the glowies and she's based, and yeah, she talks about guns and shit. Yeah, she's libertarian. Yeah, Pippa, yeah. And it's like, okay. So what's Pippa's content? What's Pippa's content usually about? Like, tell me about Pippa's content. What are her major strengths and weaknesses? Oh, she says base shit. Yeah, she's a schizo rabbit. Oh, she says all this crazy shit. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's not wrong, but Pippa's a bit more complex than that. It's kind of what I mean. So it's kind of like, with a lot of VTuber fans, essentially, they boil down a VTuber to a label. It's something I noticed with, like, Lumi as well, for example. So it's like, if you're an old school Lumi fan and you try to articulate what makes Lumi special, it's quite complex because you have to go into the kind of intricacies of her humor, her personality, the like role-playing stuff she does, and like kind of like her humor and how she can just come up with shit like out of nowhere, and how well she is at kind of like manipulating chat like a puppet master kind of thing. But when Lumi didn't really have a thing that she was known for, like hardly anyone would watch her. And then when she became known as like the stupid white bitch, she yaps a lot, or she was known as like the retard, or like the retard Yapper woman. Then like all of a sudden, everybody really loves Lumi and wants to watch her because they're like, oh yeah, Lumi, she's the retard woman. Yeah, Lumi's fucking idiot. Yeah, she yaps, white woman yap. Yeah, Lumi. I like Lumi. Yeah, she does the white woman thing, and it's like, oh, okay. PC would treat another Rim Mama appearance like the Apostle. Sakana needs to give Rim Mama a fucking job. Looks like Guru's gonna graduate. I do wonder. Hey, Dr. Binksy, by the way. I don't know. Maybe she's trolling us again. It is a very suspicious thumbnail, though, wasn't it? I vaguely remember it now. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's not the kind of thumbnail that looks like a light-hearted thing. When you've got like a major event coming up and it's a thumbnail of that last goodbye kind of smiling, waving kind of art, that's gonna, cause people to panic, I guess. Kizuna AI is before Sensao blow up. Oh, really? Is she? Papakin is a guy's guy and Rim Mama is Gunabait. I don't know. I just think Rim Mama is like really funny. She's got a great sarcastic sense of humor. She like has a great reaction to things. Girl DM was great, but she's kind of yikes on certain topics. Well, if I can only guess as what you're referring to there, Reshady. I think you have to give Girl DM some slack. I mean, she is a Canadian, bless her. she is a Canadian. You have to be patient with her. Please be patient with Canadian women, guys. They can't help it, bless them. Although not like England's any better. I think the average English man, and I hate to use the term man, is more of a soy jack than Canadian woman, honestly. I remember William. Oh, if you know, you know. Oh. I don't actually know Reshady. It's been a while since I've actually really properly watched Guardian. Reshady. I'm gonna hate this, but you're gonna have to DM me the drama. You're gonna have to send me a Go DM about the drama on Twitter later because I want to know now. I want to know. Is it about Evil Toaster? Is it something relating to Evil Toaster? I want to know. Reshady, Reshady, please, you have to DM me the fucking gossip on Twitter later, not here. This was a drama channel, even though there's drama in the title. I want to know. I want to know now. I remember William Gibson writing a cyberpunk novel called Iduru. Hey, Iduru, I get it. Where an Irish rock star has announced he was going to marry a Japanese AI VTuber named Iduru. Interesting book. Actually, that sounds really fun. I have to read that. That sounds great. Actually, that sounds right up my alley. A friend showed me, I think it was Leah, like 3 years ago, and that threw me down the rabbit hole. Even if I only watch Shuna these days. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Yeah, this is always the thing. We're very busy, I think most of us are very busy with our lives. There's only so many hours we can dedicate, to watching shit. If I could, I'd watch like 12 different Face Connect VTubers all at the same time. I can't. I can barely follow 2. I can barely follow 1 at this rate, sadly. I'm not funny. I'm just sarcastic and suck at games. I mean, that's enough. That sounds funny to me, honestly. I love sarcastic people. V got you into VTubing. That's a random one, Astasha. Racismos. Hello, it is V, and I'm here to get Astasha into VTubing, because it is racismos, and it is homophobus and transphobus. And so he's from California, yeah? What I love about Pippa, she doesn't pretend to be a girl. Ross, you can't say that. She doesn't pretend to be a girl, that's funny. That's the thing, I've said that kind of a little bit about Tema. Tema's basically a man in the way she does her content and community interactions. So I can't remember if I thanked you for the other $2, Eric. Thank you very much for the $2 you sent me, the various forms of $2 you sent me so far, Eric. I'm getting a bit carried away in my ramblings in my head now. Sheena's Inkswatch streams generally help me paint minis in regards to colour theory. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's always great, right? I think that's one of the major strengths of VTubing, is instead of just trying to blindly follow trends and be yet another, hello, I'm a cute girl with fat tits who plays video games poorly types. I do think probably one of the best ways to get yourself out there as a VTuber is to find something you're really passionate or knowledgeable about and just share that enthusiasm with the community, and then people gravitate towards it. I think that's why it gets really tiring sometimes to see. I understand why they do it, because it must be really crushing to invest so many hours into this hobby and get no traction. And again, it's not everybody, unfortunately. It's not necessarily just a content issue. It can also be a marketing issue. But you are responsible for both of those things, right? But it's like, yeah, I get frustrated sometimes when I see other VTubers like crying about having no views. And it's like, okay, let's take a look at who you are and what you do. They don't do any form of marketing or advertising for themselves. And they just record themselves playing random video games all the time. And it's like, well, yeah, no wonder no one watches you. Have you actually like bothered to get yourself out there and try new things, right? It's like, I appreciate you put a lot of hours in, but it's not about working hard. It's about working smart and creative, unfortunately. And even if you work smart and creative and hard, sadly, that's still no guarantee. But actually, you know, diversifying yourself and trying to offer something special to people is certainly a lot better than doing the same old nonsense all the time and expecting things to change. But at the same time, it is really sad because there's so many talented people out there. There's so many like very, very small VTubers out there who I watch who I think are absolutely fantastic, very skilled, highly entertaining individuals. But it's like, yeah, sadly, they just don't get any traction, and it's really sad. It makes me feel really guilty, honest, quite frankly. So I'm a lazy, useless fuckstick idiot. I don't deserve anywhere near the amount of attention I get. But it's like, yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad. It'd be nice if everybody could get fairly rewarded for the amount of like effort and brilliance they bring to this industry. It's always the tricky thing about balancing gatekeeping and trying to keep a hobby niche so that it remains pure. But then the problem is that if you don't bring in new people, then there's only so many consumers to go around, and you also run into the risk of like cliques forming, and then you get like a mafia kind of thing going on where it's like, oh, if you want to make it into the big leagues, you have to kiss the ring of like VShojo, or I don't know, like insert big independent VTuber here. So I am always in favor of like a system where there's always permanently some growth in an industry. If nothing else, just for there to be like a fresh pair of eyes and to see if people can introduce new ideas into the field, I think. Beep, 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 beep. I've always been an indie watcher. I don't like most corpos. I've kind of gone through like I used to be like that. I used to be an independent VTuber watcher only, and I thought, because I kind of thought the concept of contract streaming and of having corporate VTubers was like fucking stupid. It's like, why would I watch a product when I could watch a real human being? And then I've actually gone back the other way now, where I actually tend to prefer watching corporate VTubers over independent VTubers. And that's because like the big independent VTubers who everybody loves, unfortunately, I don't really like any of them. And the problem is with like these small to medium independent VTubers who have been around for a while, who I do like. I think and I don't blame them at all, but a lot of them I think have kind of like burnt out a little bit, and so they've kind of hit like a happy. They don't have like the same spark. They don't have like the same energy and effort they had from a few years ago, and that's kind of, I guess, why I stopped watching Girl DM, even though she was my first Oshi, because it's like, if you go back to 2021 to like 2022, so really full of energy, really sprightly, like really every stream she's just really going at it 100%. And now she's kind of I guess it's probably due to age as well, but now she's like calmed down quite a lot now. She's much more stiff, so it's kind of like understand why stuff like that happens. But it's like, yeah, it's why I tend to stick to corporate VTubers, is because they've got a manager of some kind up their ass, you know, keeping the thing going, right, keeping the car oiled kind of thing. I'm really happy Chia got to keep streaming as Rebby Rombim. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I guess so. I guess. Oh god, I'm always hesitant about speaking about like. I always do get concerned about talking about drama. About stuff, stuff that gets leaked, but it's like, should I? I don't know. Nah, maybe not. Let's move on. Actually, I was gonna make. There's a certain VTuber from Pixel Link who actually hates the vast majority of her community and thinks like they're weird, gross autistics, and she genuinely hates them. So it's like, yeah, again, going back to what I said at the beginning of the stream about being careful about who you become. What's the word? About who you oshi. Yeah, be careful. I mean, if you're able to look past that, or you don't know, you don't care, ignorance is bliss, that's fine. But again, before you hit that, I love my oshi so much, I'm gonna pump her with thousands of dollars of super chats and attention and love, like over the next couple years. Just at the back of your head, just think. Just remember, your oshi probably hates you and thinks you're gross, alright? Don't go overboard. Did Maulington just pronounce the pronunciation of cabaret? Yeah, how the fuck do you say? Oh my god, I'm 15 minutes bad. How the fuck do you say it? Cabaret? Cabaret? I don't know how to say it. I can't speak French. Omelette du fromage. I don't know. I like Rooney's coffee reviews. I do, yeah. I've seen one of her coffee reviews. I'm not gonna watch her coffee reviews because I'm gonna be doing FaZe Connect coffee reviews, and I don't want her opinion to muddy mine. Oh, by the way, did you sorry, it's been so long now in Turabang. Did you expand on that question about what I think about small VTubers having direct communication with their fans? I don't know where we left that. Kind of just remembered it now. Sweep the floor with Papakin Beer Award. I forget. You guys know I forget. Didn't Pippa like went away during a collab with Papakin? Didn't he mention something about hating Democrat voters, or like he hated Biden or something? That's fucking funny. Gildium was like Artemis there on the background. I always find that to be like a kind of rude, backhanded thing to say about someone. It's like, they're a background streamer. I mean, he's like, I don't care. I'm just happy if anyone turns in. I don't care if you got me on in like the background as I ramble incoherently about stupid shit. I would just appreciate the view. But at the same time, no, it's kind of like, yeah, I think it's kind of a backhanded compliment, because it's like, okay, yeah, I do like you enough to tune in, but then you're not good enough for me to give you like my full attention, so I'm just gonna fucking stick you in the background whilst I do something I do care about, right? I don't know, I seem to be a part of that old breed who watches a streamer and like actually has the streamer on their main monitor, giving it their full attention and focus. I think that's probably why I'm well equipped to be like the FaZe Connect historian, because I actually watch and listen to what the talents are saying. I don't have them on in the background. I'm like actually there, present, listening to what they're saying. I remember Dizzy having baby fever. Oh my god, the fucking Lumi's baby fever over Muyu annoys me as well. God, fucking, it triggers my PTSD when I hear like white women do the baby noises shit. One of the things FaZe didn't grow. One of the things FaZe didn't grow is that FaZe didn't have the resource to tame the Reddit. Yeah, I think the thing is though, we don't want Redditor types in this community anyway. Aruka still sometimes advertises her stuff on Reddit, but yeah, this is. I mean, we have Redditors in the FaZe Connect community, obviously. I mean, even people who absolutely despise that website will probably use it in some form. But I mean, like, there's a difference between using Reddit and being a Redditor. And Redditors, there are Redditors who enjoy FaZe Connect, but generally speaking, that culture isn't very welcome and doesn't really fit into FaZe Connect, in my opinion. I like Pippa for being very down to earth and honest. She does have bad takes, but sometimes her sincerity kind of makes up for it. Yeah, I love like the fucking owl takes thing people say about Pippa. I don't know. As I said, I'm not a particularly big fan of Pippa, so I don't watch her all that much. So I don't know what these owl takes are. I find even her owl takes, even if they are owl takes, can be really funny. Like her rant on theatre kids is fucking funny. I really enjoyed that one. I thought that was great. She definitely, her Pop-Tart gun thing, I hope to God she was doing a bit, because if she was dead serious during the whole Pop-Tart gun thing, she's a fucking idiot, quite frankly. But I really enjoyed the Pop-Tart gun thing, even though that was an outtake. I don't know, I tend to enjoy Pippa's outtakes, but I don't know, maybe I haven't heard the wrong one yet, maybe. Yeah, that tends to be the thing that gravitates most people towards Pippa, is it's that earnestness, that sincerity, that honesty. It's kind of like watching that, it's hard to describe, isn't it? It's like, it's kind of like boyhood done right. Like just watching Pippa like grow up and develop as a person is oddly captivating. But at the same time, though, I do like Pippa's sense of humor. I do think Pippa's like really funny, and I particularly enjoy that really creative, passionate side she has towards VTubing. It's just that my problem with Pippa is that her sense of humor, although it's kind of the same as mine, it's far too soft, and I don't know how much of that is because, you know, she's in a corporate VTubing corporation with a lot of eyes on her, or maybe she is just that nice, maybe. But it's like, yeah, like I've said before, people call Pippa based for saying what I perceive to be really milquetoast like shit that isn't controversial at all. Because we all know what Lord Maulington's like, right? You guys can probably imagine the shit that gets said in my private Discord messages with my friends, right? I like telling this story because it always cracks me up. But I've told you this story before. I've got a private Discord group with my friends I met on a wild private server 4 years ago. So I've got a brown-skinned Sunni Muslim from Morocco. I've got a Polish-American Jew who hates being a Jew. And his wife, who is she's a staunch traditionalist white Catholic Polish woman, so she has some very choice things to say about like gays and Western men and non-whites and shit, right? But it's like, it's the kind of shenanigans we had the kind of shenanigans in that Discord where I go to my Moroccan friend, right, and I'm like, Tarek, you dirty fucking Muslim, I'm gonna burn you alive on the holy cross of Jesus Christ. And then he'll snap, and then he'll laugh, and then he'll snap back at me. He'll be like, dude, you are very funny, British man. When the Muslims take over England, I will put you in a cage and you will dance for us. Like, I fucking, now that is spicy, right? Now that is controversial. It's like, as much as I enjoy, I'm gonna fucking shoot up a Walmart, and as much as I enjoyed Pippa's shackle jokes, obviously, well, that's the point, right? She made like a really weak joke about Jews and, you know, the one world order thing, and that was almost enough to cancel Faith Connect and her. So I kind of see why she has to be like very gentle, in my opinion. But yeah, I prefer much stronger stuff if you're gonna go that way. No effort clips does not help with clipping the most annoying moments. Oh, is that about what, Pippa, Lumi? I do really like low effort clip stuff. I don't have a problem with low effort clips, but yeah, I guess the problem is, right, so what doesn't kind of help Pippa in like the perspective people have of her is that her clippers, not so much Fayola actually. I think the introduction of Fayola into the Phase Connect clipping community has been great for Pippa, because Fayola actually does like clip maybe the more boring things people might see, but it gives you like a great insight into who Pippa is as a person and like what she thinks about things. It's kind of like I think Fayola is like the medicine to the kind of clips that Zincro and Azehara channel used to do. So again, I think it's not to criticize Zincro or Azehara channel. The two of them have been instrumental in helping Pippa and Phase Connect become the corporation that it is today. But most of Azehara and Zincro's clips of Pippa involve her at a like most menhera or like based or like schizo, or, you know, when she's trying to like troll or bait or piss people off kind of thing. And it kind of creates like a false narrative, right? So it's like, if your only knowledge of Pippa comes from watching clips, then if you only watch like Azehara channel's clips of Pippa or Zincro's clips of Pippa, then you get completely the wrong impression, right, of what Pippa actually is. And I think that doesn't help. That doesn't help VTubers sometimes. It's not like any form of deliberate. It's probably not deliberate, and it's definitely not malicious on the side of the clippers. Because it's like a clipper, you know, it's like we do really enjoy those prime moments of menhera. But if that's all you're clipping, then people outsiders are gonna think that's all a VTuber is. So it kind of paints like a false image, right? I think. Pippa, oh yeah, I forgot that she really liked the Joker too. I'm pretty sure she has to be joking about Joker too. That must be a shit wind up. She must be trying to piss people off again, just like she did with Hogwarts Legacy. I refuse to believe Pippa enjoys Joker too. She's not that much of a middle-aged woman yet that she would like that movie. Wholesome toxicity. Yep. I make trees speaking Vietnamese jokes all the time. Yeah, you good. I love it, like Vietnamese memes are great. I assume that Pippa about Limiter would be on the level of Kershaw, if not more. Yeah, I mean, there's two of them have been friends for a long time, so I imagine they would be on the same level, right? Failure is the only clipper for Pippa I can watch. Yeah, I figured that would make sense. If you're like a true pink capitulist, then Fiola's probably your guy to go to clips if you can't watch the stream and you need to get caught up, because he clips the die-hard capitulist moments, the stuff the stuff the grassroots capitalists like, whereas I think the others tend to just clip the exciting stuff that the I guess kind of like the not so deep capitalists and like the outsiders prefer to watch. Many Pippa clippers are great. Some don't clip top clips. Oh, okay. Yeah, I probably don't have like my finger on the pulse of every Pippa clipper. I know there's Fayola, low effort clips, Azahara. Probably, I imagine from time to time people like OnlyFaze might do Pippa clips, but I just from what I can see in my algorithms and stuff, like all the Pippa clips I see mostly come from Fayola, whereas before they used to come. I'm pretty sure the algorithm used to chuck low effort clips in my face all the time, and I just remember that every time I saw a Pippa low effort clip, it would always be Pippa screaming about something, and then every time I see a Fayola clip and it's Pippa talking about, I don't know, growing up and like growing up basically, or like what's something that happened with a brother, or just like family and slice of life kind of thing. Yeah, basing your opinion of any VTuber off of clips is going to be missing a huge part of the picture. Exactly. That's kind of why I kind of made these videos in the first place, is because I tried to hit that mid ground of it's compact enough that you can understand what you can get a bit more of a deeper understanding of what a VTuber is really about without having to like sift through God knows how many streams to, see what they're about basically. Like the clips ain't documentary, they're a glimpse into who this VTuber is like. That's true. Yeah, you shouldn't base your opinion off of a VTuber or its community off of VTuber clips, but you just can't help but do that, right? And if you don't do it the right way, it can actually scare people away. So, like, I will never watch Shiori or Nerissa Ravencroft, for example, and that has absolutely nothing to do with those two as talents. The reason why I will never watch those two is because when those two, like in the first couple months of those two debuting, I just remember my YouTube feed, even though I watch zero HoloLive VTubers, would be constantly, and I do mean plastered in Yuri bait and goon maxing from her clippers and her community, who were like, seemed to every other day were posting about how Nerissa wants to sit on Shuri's face and how Shuri wants to eat Nerissa's pussy, right? So, as someone who hates Vtubing, you can imagine having clips like that shoved in my face every 5 seconds. I was like, yeah, I fucking hate these two VTubers. I'm never gonna watch them. Could have completely the wrong idea about Nerissa and Shiori. I probably almost certainly do have the wrong impression of those two, but thanks to their clippers, I'm never gonna watch those two because it's painted an image in my mind that just like repulses me every time I think about it. Oh yeah, I had the gossip on the DMs. Thank you, Rishady. This is why I fucking love Mexicans, guys. I love Mexicans so much. You Mexicans are like, you fuckers just don't give a shit. You're everywhere. You guys are everywhere in VTubing. You're fucking archiving everything that's going on. It's fantastic. I like have this army of Mexican spies just telling me all the juicy gossip going on in VTubing. So I don't have to get off my fat ass. So I don't have to get off my fat ass and find out for myself. Based Mexicans, hell yeah, boys. What would be a Mexican thing to say as thanks? God, Gracias, hermanos. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca, por favor? Gracias, Mexicans. Hey, Herbert. Fairla gives us a good shit. He does. Good old Fairla. The memes around Joker 2 Pippa were funny. It's been a while. I can barely remember it now, but the memes around Joker 2 and the memes around fucking Pippa's obsession with Kira from JoJo were actually pretty funny. Pascal Saucer didn't appreciate it, but I thought it was funny. She wasn't joking. She found it relatable how society destroys people if they don't conform, and she didn't have context. Oh my god, fucking hell, Pippa. Although, to be fair, okay, let me repeat that. She wasn't joking. She found it relatable how society destroys people if they don't conform, and she didn't have context from OG Joker. You know, that is very much fitting within Pippa's character, because it's like, again, one thing I kind of respect about Pippa, one thing I like about Pippa is that she doesn't come out and say it directly, but you can tell in like the way she behaves and the way she talks sometimes is she really doesn't appreciate the tendency to like dogpile and drama farm and spurg out every time there's like any form of controversy in VTubing. So I know she'll like throw a fit and she'll go mental if someone attacks her friends, like people like Fillion or Kersha, right? So you got like Kersha and Short Fat Taku, or Fillion and Jack's Films, I want to say. With Jack's Films, right? Jack's Films, Jack Septic Eye. Too many YouTubers with fucking Jack in the name. I get them all confused, right? But, you know, do you guys remember when Merryweather called Pippa, you know, white trash and talked like mad shit about her out of nowhere? I think many a VTuber would have absolutely jumped at that opportunity to milk the outrage and like jump down the guy's throat and start a beef over that. But even though Pippa was well within her rights to actually clap back at Merry, particularly after she was nice enough to host him and have him on stream, which is again, Pippa forgives Merryweather. I don't. I think that was a fucking mask off mega dickhead moment for him. So it's like if Pippa and Merryweather had no engagement with each other whatsoever, then I'd be kind of like, oh, you know what, whatever. We all have those moments, right, where we're in a bad mood, we're a bit grumpy, we're a bit toxic, we're a bit jealous, we're a bit sad, and we pop off at someone in a fit of, you know, jealousy. We've all been there. We've all had bad thoughts about someone who doesn't deserve it because we're in a bad mood or feeling a bit jealous. But it's a special kind of, you have to be a special kind of twat to be like invited onto to an interview with someone in good faith and then turn around and like call them white trash and like talk mad shit about them. At least you had the balls to do it in public, I guess. But anyway, my point is that when Merryweather backed down, like he always does, because he's backed down Merryweather. A light breeze would knock Merryweather over, but when he but when he backed down and like apologized, and he didn't apologize to Pippa directly, I'm pretty sure, by the way, he just gave a generic public apology about his actions towards Pippa, and then Pippa just immediately like forgave him and just accepted his clearly bullshit lying excuse as to why he thought calling Pippa white trash was appropriate. But she was very quick to jump on that and then just throw the drama, just let it go all under the bridge and move on and let bygones be bygones, right, and just forget about it. Pippa does that an awful lot, and I do respect that mentality. I do think a lot of people in this space do take things way too personally and then like milk the ever-loving fuck out of it and cause like a beef when there really doesn't need to be. But I think the Merryweather thing was one of those instances where it would have been like, yeah, he would definitely deserve to get a bit of a fucking dressing down for doing that kind of behavior. But that's fair. She's definitely nicer than I am, Pippa is, put it that way. I wouldn't have let him get away with that. I wouldn't have let him get away with it, honestly. Ree has edge saying the N-word. She's done it on more than one occasion, Nastasha. She's done it on more than one occasion. I always think back to that short Rie did, where she was edging saying faggot, and then she was also edging saying the N-word as well. What was it? It was like some kind of like repeat after me thing where it was like maggot, jagot, and then like the final word it just shows the F, and then at the last minute it goes fat, and then it's, you know, it's a different words, and then the next one was it was like jigger. Let me not accidentally say the word bigger, and then the final word began with an N, and she was like, she said something different. It's funny. Sheena calling Battleborn and calling it Dustbin. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, can't yell at everyone. She's working with a team and she's a star. She have to hold back. Although she doesn't hold back sometimes, though. Sometimes she does go maybe a little bit too far. But that's the thing, though. Is it's like people love it when she does that. It actually strengthens Face Connect and to a brand when she does pop off. People love that shit. Yeah, now Merryweather. That's the other thing, Pascal Saucer. Now Merryweather and Sakane talk at cons. Again, it's a minor thing, but if I was like the CEO of a company, right, and like this dickhead independent VTuber called like one of my girls like fucking white trash, you know, I wouldn't. My talent may forgive that. I don't. I'd be like, don't you ever fucking speak to me or any of my other talents again, cunt. Right, if Pippa lets you talk to her from now on, that's her business. But you fucking stay away from my company now, dickhead. I see you, motherfucker. I know what you're about. It's like, again, it's Tema's base as well, because Tenma openly hates false ID, and which is pretty funny. Although she also openly really hates depressed Nusagi as well, because of the whole HoloLive, you know, thing he did on his Patreon. I don't know. I honestly, I can forgive and like just forget what Nusagi does. I know you never. It's one of the first rules of the internet is that you never republish and bring attention to doxes. Not your own, but especially other people's ones as well. But I can kind of I can forgive Nusagi because I don't think he genuinely meant any harm by it. He was a very young guy as well when he started like this VTubing stuff. He was like 18 or something, like 18, 19, maybe even younger. He probably didn't know. He didn't understand the implications of what he's doing. But yeah, sadly, some people hold a grudge against Nusagi forever for doing that. And I think that's going too far when I don't think he meant to do it deliberately and didn't understand consequences. It's like, come on, guys. It's a year. He apologized. Didn't mean any harm, just let it go now. But it's different though. It's different when you like host and you're like really friendly with someone and you show them nothing but kindness, and then they turn around and call you fucking, they pull classism on you, right, and they call you white trash. That's a bit like, oh, okay, you can't take that back at that point. There's no lie there's no mistake. That's you being open and honest with what you think and feel. And you know what, okay, that's fine. You know what, don't apologize, don't take it back. If you think I'm lower class scum, okay, that's fine. I'd respect a person more for being open with their disdain of me than pretending to be my friend and then like shit talking me in private. At least I know where we stand at that point. And I can even in a sense, it depends, but I can even get along with someone who doesn't like me very much as long as we can be like civil in a public setting. But when you start doing that whole kind of, you know, take it back, oh, I'm so sorry, it was a lapse in judgment, I'm like, no, you're a fucking snake at that point. Don't trust you. But anyway, I wasn't intending today to talk about the Merryweather drama. I actually wanted to continue talking about Disney a little bit. How long have we been going? Been going for 2 hours, fucking hell. Let's get back on track with Disney before, yeah, it's 10:30, before I go to bed. Because knowing me, I'll be tangenting about Disney for like fucking 5 hours. Merryweather is such a oh, Tempest, fucking hell, Tempest, you're going in hard there. Merryweather is such a cuck, he will fold like a wet paper towel at the first sign of pushback about anything. Just look at the reason. Oh yeah, fucking hell, I forgot about the Beatrice drama thing. Yeah, fucking hell. I do. Yeah, I remember them having a good collab as well, Dragon Lord of Thunder. That's exactly my point. It's really weird that the two of them got along very well, had a great collab, and then just out of nowhere, he just talks mad. He just says this horrible shit about Pippa. It's like, where the fuck did that come from? What did she do to deserve that, Mary? Like, what the fuck? That guy was such a clout chaser? I don't know. I kind of feel, I don't hate Merryweather, honestly. I feel a lot of sympathy for the guy, because I used to be like him. I used to be just like Merryweather when I was a teenager. I think the guy's just desperate to be loved and to have, you know, the guy just wants a lot of attention, and he just wants people to love him And I don't know, I don't know what the word is. I feel a lot of empathy for him because I understand that sentiment, but it's like, again, a big part of growing up is knowing that you can't be a people pleaser, you can't please everyone, and that ideally, if you're going to have strong opinions, then you need to stick to them. And obviously that, again, a very important thing about being a CEO of a company is that you stick by your employees. You don't throw them to the hate mob. You don't throw them to the wolves, obviously, because you serve your employees first. So I think people kind of misinterpreted, I think, a little bit about Merry's stance on the Beatrice thing. I don't think Merry threw Beatrice under the bus and like totally backstabbed her like people were implying. He definitely shouldn't have caved an inch to them, but he kind of took a middle ground where he's like, look, I'm not going to apologize for having a lolly VTuber in my company, but just to placate the rabid antis, we're not going to have any lolly not safe for work in our community. There you go. How's that for a compromise? And I guess personally, my personal take on that would be to just like tell him to shove off, like deal with it. If you don't like it, too bad, it ain't going anywhere. Beatrice can do what she wants, but yeah, it's his company if he wants to run it that way. But I think yeah, it's at the same time though, I guess he did take that agency away from Beatrice. I do think it's important that you give agency to the VTuber themselves to say, in my community, I will allow these things and I don't want to see these things. Or if, you know what, I don't want to see these things, but I'll allow it as long as you do this. I do think it should, even in a corporate VTubing environment, that should be fully the decision of the talent. And I think by making that decision, perhaps, yeah, allegedly he's made the decision for Beatrice. I think by making that decision himself and kind of getting involved in compromising, he shouldn't have done that. He should have let Beatrice handle that how she wanted and then supported her decision. It should have come from Beatrice. Maybe Beatrice did like discuss it with him and said it was okay, but really that comment, that stance on the lolly not safe for work should have come from Beatrice, should have been her decision, and he should have stuck by her decision, whatever she chose. And I guess that's the problem Merryweather has with his reputation, is that people immediately assume that he folded like a pack of croutons because people were upset, you know, at the Beatrice situation. So what can you do? What can you do? I don't really know much about Danish people other than they speak funny. Merryweather is like Tim Pool, a fucking fence sitter. He just wants to be kind of like he just wants to do the moist critical thing. He wants to be the positive voice of normal people in VTubing, as far as you can find normal people in VTubing. In fact, we face fans all held back in many things, even when itching great fans we are. Not kidding, that's cool. Yeah, the Phase Connect community was extreme, as you can imagine, particularly those on the funny sites like TVA and, well, I don't think TVA was even around back then, but certainly like the Kiwi guys and PCG were really fucking furious when Merry did that. But I think the general fandom, even the general fandom got a bit funny with Merry as well when he said that, but it could have been a lot worse for Merry, honestly. I've seen the Phase Connect, parts of the Phase Connect community do a lot worse to people who are pissing them off. So he did get out of that one better than most would have. Yeah, I think he got out of that one with less damage than Kumalot did, for example. Did he even remember when Merryweather shamed Argentinian currency and he later backed down again? Oh, you know what? I do vaguely remember that one. Was it? I vaguely remember that one. Remind me, Inferno. It was something about super chats, right? It was something about super chat values. I mean, I vaguely, very barely remember this drama. But with that Argentinian currency drama thing, I thought that was like a funny, you know, banterous kind of meme. Even though he probably didn't mean it as a meme. But I think it's like one of those funny, like, ruse things that you say about another country that pisses them off, but it's also kind of funny. You should have stuck to that, right? Like I make I make inappropriate comments about other countries all the time, and I love making those comments because it's funny and ridiculous. And when I make those comments, I'm happy to take it back as long as it's like in relatively good taste. Like, I might make racist, vaguely racist comments and jokes about Mexicans and them being border hoppers and white supremacists and shit. But at the same time, you guys take no hesitation in mocking me for being British or whatever, or being from the UK and British or European things. It's all in good fun at the end of the day. Sometimes you might go a little bit too far and say something that's maybe a little bit hurtful, but at the same time you kind of go you kind of go yeah, you know what, it's true. It's not like you do it all the time. Let that one slide, forget about it. I'll laugh, but went a bit too far, but yeah, you know what, forget about it, it's fine, right? And again, it's just people would just like Mary more if he would just like if he just fucking said stuff that he was willing to defend, then there wouldn't be any problems, right? It's tricky to do. It's tricky to do when you're an entertainer. Sometimes you want to post like engagement bait, and sometimes you like just have a shower thought and then you say something that maybe you haven't thought through properly, and then people get like the wrong idea and jump down your neck, and you think, oh fuck, actually I didn't mean that. I regret saying that. I want to take it back. But the thing is, it's like, again, he just has this problem where he keeps having opinions on things, but he clearly doesn't actually mean them and stick by them, because again, at the slightest bit of pushback, he deletes it and takes it back. And it's like, Mary, you've got like hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitter. Within a minute of you posting something, several thousand people have seen it. You can't hide it anymore. Just leave it there, right? And people wouldn't have a problem with you. It's like, you're not small enough to hide it. You may as well just leave it there, or not do it in the first place. But anyway, this isn't a Merryweather dogpiling thing. Let's get back to the Dizzler. Oh, did I see Observer Andrea there? I did. Hey, Observer Andrea. It's perfectly normal for people to stick up for her friends. How are you doing, Observer Andrea? But I didn't know that Merryweather did that to Pippa. Yeah, he did, sadly. It's a bit of a, ooh, Christ. Yeah, Merryweather, no. Don't do that. No, really bad Merryweather. That's a bad boy, bad dog. Merryweather's a dog, right? Merryweather's a dog, not a cat, isn't he? Yeah, bad dog, Merryweather, bad dog. Don't do it. I still do kind of like the guy though. Feel sorry for him a little bit. Wouldn't trust him though. Wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. But I do like it. I do actually like him a bit. Well, oh no, I read that one. Can't believe a company let her upload. Yeah, can't believe a company let her upload that. Yeah. That short is probably the funniest shit ever. Yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it as well. I thought Rie does have these moments where she does play the race thing. Like she did it in the White Girl Wednesday stream as well with Lumi and Irie, where she like basically made a joke that all Starbucks managers are fucking Vietnamese or something. And then she was like, let's move on before Sakana watches the stream. Anyone that thinks Pippa is just a redneck from the trailer park should watch the stream she did with that idiot Camelot. She stayed very professional. Yeah, well said, Pablo. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not just that stream that she did with Camelot. It's just, if you just see beyond the base shit she does, and actually look at Flavor, for example. You take a look at Flavor. Flavor is very artistic. And I don't mean that in the memeified autistic way. I mean, genuinely, like I said before, Flavor is like one of the best things that's ever happened to VTubing, and that really shows the power of Pippa's creativity when she wants to apply herself. Fantastic. I mean, she really showed that she isn't just some fucking like based redneck when she did the whole Flavor shit. Absolute cinema Flavor. Loved it. Loved the Flavor people as well. I love Cara. I love Neo Paulina. I fucking love all of them. I could sit here and list all of them off. Love Senna Bonbon. Love Minda Vanilla. Love Miliardo. Love Ju-Won Sugar Bloom. Love them all. Love the Flavor boys and girls and femboys. Fun to rhyme with Ree. I hate calling Rie. I want to call her Ree because it looks like Rie. Sounds Canadian, right? Rie. It's like a Canadian reeing. Rie. Nice hat. Nice hat. I've got a nice hat. Hang on, what's the keybind again? Hang on, what's my keybind for my hat? Is it F1? Hey, there we go. Here's my hat. Anyway, no, I read that one. I don't even know Pippa. Oh my god, that terrified me actually. I got a 10-second delay on my stream. I just saw it pop up. That's scary. Hey, Bella. How you doing today, Maulington? I think I've nearly recovered, honestly. Hopefully I'll be able to get the Aruka coffee review finished tomorrow. I've still got a little bit in my throat and nose, but I might be on the mend by the end of this week, and then I can start streaming and making videos again. Oh my god, every time I just scroll down a little bit, it fucking takes me to the thing. He's old, he goes to bed at 10. I'm not an old man, Agematter. I'm a big, strong, sexy, burly man. I'm only 32. I'm really young. I'm really young. You those of you who are like 20 in the chat are fucking fetuses. Oh my god, was I really... How far behind was I? What the hell? I don't recognize... I don't remember reading all these comments. What the hell? Hang on, I need to get caught up to where I was. Oh my god, this is terrifying. Oh, okay, I know where I am now. Okay. Forgive your enemies, but remember their names. Like Tenma said, right? Sakana-san, I forgive, but never forget. Remember these words. Not everyone was born with venom in their veins. Ah, venom in their veins. Didn't Merryweather have a collab with Sakana recently in Vexpo? He did, the cheeky fucker. I would have done it, though. I would have done it myself via Merryweather. Can't fault the guy. Had an opportunity and he took it. Why not? But yeah, he did. The cheeky fucker did have a collab with Sakana, despite calling one of his talents white trash. He pops around in chariots a lot. Oh, okay. Yeah, but well, power doesn't corrupt. Okay, it's very cliche to say power doesn't corrupt people, guys. Power just shows people their true nature. Just shows you a person's true nature. Fuck me, I still like the other guy. the Maul. He goes to bed at 10, he's old. Oldington. Wait, what the fuck? Why are you guys talking about Oldington all of a sudden? I missed the part in the chat where me being old is the subject. Yeah, I'm worried about the Panko and Dizzy being sick, plus Hina not being fully healed. I wonder if there's something going on. There's something going on, like, going around in the UK. I wonder if it's the same thing in America. People just getting sick, catching something. GD says, all the tubers decided to freak out about 1 hour ago over the shark. Ah, okay. I mean, yeah, I do wonder if Guba would go back to, like, Sanzawa or an independent channel. I do wonder. People should actually learn to hate. Wow, Krivus, hopefully, isn't this right, GD? One day, hopefully soon, the Saxon will learn to hate. Hopefully the Saxon will begin hating. We desperately need that in the UK. Actually, you know what? Before I finish off talking about the Dizzy situation, can I just go on a rant about America? I'm going to get caught up to chat, and I just want to go on a rant about how much I love America. Because I just want to go on a rant about how much I love America, because I feel like going on a rant about how much I love America, and I don't give a shit. Okay, because you're my captive audience, and I won't allow you to go anywhere. I'm gonna tie you down to a chair, and you're gonna sit here and you're gonna listen to me talk about how much I love America. But in a minute though, I want to read chat first. Okay, God, breathe, Maulington. In before Gura is announcing that she's. Oh my God, I have to lean right back in my chair, otherwise I look like I'm about to kiss you, chat. It's actually speaking of kissing. Hello, my lovely boys. It's Lord Maulington. Hello, how are you? My boyfriend experience with Lord Maulington, my lovely boys. Give Lord Maulington a kissy wissy. Frankly, I don't know, Lord M. I love you, but stop. Never. Don't tell me to stop. It just makes me go harder. This sounds evil, but he should have at least made her account say it. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, for Beatrice. Yeah, agree. Moist over here. He's old enough to realize that no one will respect him if he doesn't hold firm to his principles. He can try to thread the needle, but he needs to stand for something. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, your choice is to either stand for something or don't put yourself in a position where you put yourself in a position where you don't have to explain yourself. Something like Germa985, for example. Germa's been streaming for a very long time, and he doesn't stand for anything. Germa probably stands for things, but you don't know what Germa stands for because he doesn't talk about politics, and he doesn't comment on anything like cultural, political, or otherwise. He knows he's just a silly, funny streamer man, and he sticks to his comedy. So if you do that, then you're not going to have any problems. If you have an opinion and you want to let the world know that opinion, then you've got to be prepared to die on that hill, because people will challenge you on it, because particularly in VTubing, because VTubing is obviously, it's split between leftists and it's split between, people call them right-wingers. I don't think VTubing's full of right-wingers. VTubing is full of like centrists, like centrists and like gamer types who have a very spicy sense of humor, but are not politically right, I would say. Although, yes, anime and VTubing have always had unironic neo-Nazis in it. Anime has always attracted the people with the lolly SS, like swastika, you know, PFP havers who talk about the sand people and, you know, the Aryan Brotherhood shit, right? That's always been a part of it. But anime has always been dominated by people of that early 2000s gamer thing. And yeah, if you continue to behave in the traditional ways of the anime fan, then the modern leftist shit lib cuck fag, or whatever you want to call him, is going to like virtue signal and call you names and cry about how you've somehow like stolen or appropriated or taken this space, or like their favorite anime, when it's like, motherfucker, we were here first. We've been here for 28 years. You guys are the new bros. You guys are the new fag tourists trying to destroy the harmony of this really weird schizophrenic part of the internet. You guys are the aliens, not us. It's more we pity that you're a limey. Thank you, Calvin. I also pity the fact that I'm a limey. I will do anything to be an American, except suck dick. I do anything to be an American. I fucking love America. I actually quite like Mexicans as well. Never had an interaction with a Mexican before until I started VTubing, and now it's like, oh, I fucking love these Mexican guys. Mexicans remind me of like the 2006 internet, just casually being racist, throwing slurs, and, you know, not giving a shit. You know, banter and like ribbing each other. It's good fun. I like Mexicans. Didn't you want to talk about Dizzy being sick? I can't remember what the fuck I want to talk about now. I want to go on a rant about why I love America, and then we're going to talk about Dizzy in a minute. Yeah. Hey, Spikeman. Lots of love in the chat for Dizzy. Really hope she's with people who love her a lot right now. Yeah, I think, yeah, like I said at the beginning of the stream, again, not to repeat myself too much, but there's nothing to worry about with Dizzy, I don't think. I think Dizzy's just burnt out and stressing herself out from overworking herself too much and taking too much on. Dizzy's Dizzy's quite a sensitive soul, and she takes things very personally, and like she really like takes on the emotion of what she's doing and why she's doing things. And I'm very much the same way. Like, I care an awful lot at my place of work as well about the impact of what I do and the impact I might have on people. And I think the problem is not only is Dizzy grossly overworking herself and stressing herself out on top of that, it's probably causing her a lot of emotional toil as well, because she's too emotionally attached to what she does, and it's almost like she wants like FaZe Connect to be successful, happy, and to prosper more than Sakana himself does, right? But she can't. I don't think Dizzy can sustainably keep doing what she's doing, really, and it's probably having a severe effect on her mental health and to probably by extension her physical health. And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I'd like to hope that Sakana has had these conversations with Dizzy, particularly as their childhood friends. But I do wonder, where is Sakana in all of this? Is he like having words with Dizzy, like telling Dizzy that she's doing too much and that she needs to take a step back and not do all this shit she does for the company, precisely because it leads to these situations? I think here we go. We've managed to somehow tangent into talking about Dizzy. Fuck yeah, let's go. America later. But the thing is that Dizzy has an interesting position. She has an interesting dynamic in FaZe Connect, because she's not really like a manager in FaZe Connect anymore. She kind of is. She's kind of like a project manager, and she's a more veteran or authoritative kind of presence in FaZe Connect. But because she's not in that direct official chain of the hierarchy, she's in this unique position where she can probably act as like the big sister, and she can act as like the agony aunt, and the person the talents under her, like her co-highs, can genuinely go to vent their frustrations and to get advice from, and to get, you know, and to get like help with their own menhera issues. And it's all well and good, and I imagine Dizzy does like all this shit for them. Remember when Dizzy was in Sundaria, the only reason why Sundaria lasted as long as it did was because Dizzy kept the company going and kept the talents in the organization, because the old talents, you know, like your Embers and your Sires and your Mumuyus, even though they had no more faith in the company, they trusted at least Dizzy to get them through the remains of Sundaria. But because of Dizzy's unique position, she probably does act as like this sisterly, like informal agony aunt to help deal with talent trauma or problems. And it's like, well, on top of all the projects and all the shit she does to further boost FaZe Connect, it's like, does she have like a support network to help her out with her problems, right? Has she got someone looking out for her? I'm pretty sure I remember Pippa saying that Dizzy is actually her kind of like best friend in FaZe Connect. It's not Tenma, it's actually Dizzy. And so I imagine that Pippa, being the very empathetic and conscientious person that she is, regularly like talks and supports Dizzy. And that's fine, but what Dizzy probably needs sometimes is for Kevin to stand in there and like basically order her to fucking stop what she's doing, so that she can properly decompress and get herself in a good mental state. Because I think we bully, we meme about Dizzy being, you know, the sad girl, but I've always had the distinct impression from Dizzy, from the way she behaves and the things she says, not that I'm a licensed psychologist or anything, but again, I can just see it because I'm very similar to Dizzy in this regard. But Dizzy's always like obsessed with feedback and taking the advice of others into account. Like, she's always asking for feedback, and she's always concerning herself with oh, I've raided from Miller Vanilla, fuck yeah, thank you very much for the raid, Minna. This is my guys, in my entire VTubing career, this is the first time I've ever been raided. Hell yeah, first raid. Thank you very much, Minna. How you doing, Minna? Actually, before I continue my rant, let me see what's going on with the Minna bros. How's it going, Minna boys? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. But oh shit, now I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, but because, yay, hey Minna, good to see you, Minna. How's it going? How's the wee ones, Minna? How the little babas? How are they doing? Speak of the devil, and there shall appear. Yeah, I was Dizzy wanting lots of feedback. Thank you, Minna. So yeah, Dizzy has always struck me as this kind of person who she's absolutely like laser focused on giving 100% and doing right by her company and doing right by her fans. So she's always asking for, you know, like feedback, and it's almost like she wants someone to tell her that she's bad and that she's not good enough, so that she has this so that she's always got something to be working towards. And I get that mentality because I have it myself. Like, there's nothing I hate more at work than being told that I've done a good job, particularly if it's like over something really easy and that I know wasn't particularly difficult. And I get the same vibe from Dizzy. I imagine Dizzy's one of those people where she's like, she takes a lot on and she doesn't think it's impressive, and maybe it's not, but given the context of everything else she does, acting as like a project manager and a talent herself, for her to be able to juggle, for her to be able to spin all these different plates and still maintain her sanity, it is extremely impressive. So I do wonder if Dizzy needs maybe Kevin to step in more and like actually take an interest in what Dizzy's, you know, like mental and physical state is, and be like, look, Dizzy, you fucking, like, you want, it's not just me and you anymore, okay? Like, there are other managers who can do this shit as well. Just delegate and offload it to some of them, and just remember that we at present we have hired you to be a talent, right? You don't need to worry anymore about helping me manage my company. Just fucking relax, all right? Just focus on what I pay you to do, please. They're so cute and crazy. Oh god, guys, I want children. I want 3 daughters. But in order for me to have daughters, I need to leave the fucking house and like speak to women and shit. And I can't be bothered. But I want 3 daughters. I don't know what I'm gonna call them though. I might give them French. I really like French names. If I was gonna have 3 daughters, I might call them Charlotte. Actually, is Charlotte French or is it Irish? Can't remember. Irish. Any Irish in the chat? Irish. I like the name Charlotte. I definitely call a girl Charlotte. Charlotte Eleanor. Charlotte Eleanor. Let's see, what else? Charlotte Eleanor. What else would be a nice girl's name? Charlotte Eleanor. Charlotte Eleanor. You know, I quite like the name Stella, you know. I like Stella. Charlotte Eleanor and Stella. Having an Asian mom. Oh, yeah, that's very true as well. Dizzy, obviously Dizzy has like the tiger Asian family as well, so that probably doesn't help. Bless her fucking mental state. God, you know, when I was growing up, I had a tiger family, but they weren't that nasty they weren't that nasty of tigers. I only ever had to achieve a minimum of a B grade. As long as I got B grades, that was fine. I didn't have to get like A stars. But still, as just having people that are like up your ass to get B's in all subjects caused me a little bit of emotional damage, particularly when I really hated stuff like art and geography. But I can't imagine like having that stereotypical Asian family who demands like 100% in all tests all the time, constantly on your fucking case, going, "Are you a doctor yet? Call me when you're doctor." Like the only aspirations my family had for me is they were like, Maulington, you're going to become a mathematician. No ifs, no buts, okay? But it's like, okay, you're forcing me to be a mathematician, but at least I only need to get B grades. Okay, that's achievable. That's not too depressing. Hey, Hibawari. How's it going, buddy? You need to have 27 kids. Oh my god, you know what? I need my own little private army of mini Maulingtons so I can take over this country and turn and restore its former glory. Minerade, hell yeah, Minna love, Flavor love. I fucking love Flavor so much. Been watching a lot of Neo Paulino recently, actually. I fucking love Neo. Neo's a damn good lad. And Juwon as well, actually. I really like the femboy Flavor. I really like Flavor femboys. They're great. What about Hellenic names? Is Cleopatra a Hellenic name? What's an example of Hellenic names? 3 daughters, at least one will be a VTuber. Yeah, maybe get all 3 to be VTubers. Dizzy is the emotional support bigger sister, but the Be Honest movie MVP of She goes out to FaZe's done. That's true. I mean, the success of FaZe Connect can't be attributed to any one person, really. Like, everybody, to some extent, has had a critical role in it developing into where it is today. But I do think that Dizzy Dokuro has been a extremely important support pillar for everybody since the early days, right? I mean, Mumi too, but Dizzy, I think Dizzy's has probably been like the big one for Sakana in particular, because again, I always think back to that moment about how back when Sakana was like in his car, like having a meltdown because his talents were all Menhera pieces of shit, and the stress of running the company was getting to him, and then he'd have like Dizzy would be in the car comforting him. God bless him. God bless the fish man. So yeah, Dizzy love as well. Fine, I will get 27 kids. Hey, anybody in the chat want to bear my children? I am heterosexual, so no men, I'm afraid. Oh, you know what? Oh my god, should I say this? I don't know. This is getting in the territory of Menhera. But did you guys know at the moment in the UK they're actually taking major consideration into making it a hate crime to not want to sleep, like to have sex with someone who's transsexual. So I genuinely think in the next couple of years they are gonna like put us in prison if I don't want to have a sex with like a trans female, and I'm quite worried. I'm genuinely worried about that one. But anyway, let's not talk about that, because that kind of subject can upset people. I've never gotten a grade. Woo! God, yeah, you know, Minna. Sometimes, Minna, I wake up in the middle of the night, like having a panic attack, thinking I've got university coursework to hand in tomorrow. And then I wake up, and then after like a couple seconds of like sheer sweating panic, I go, oh yeah, I left university like 11 years ago. But I still get fucking PT. I get more I have stronger PSD from spending 3 years doing my bachelor's degree than I did from 6 years of military service. Not that I deployed anywhere for me to have got PTSD, but still, 6 years of military service, nothing. 3 years of like university to do my bachelor's, plus 1 more for a master's. God, fucking hell. Get me on meds. I need those meds. Mandatory pussy, yeah, exactly. State enforced pussy. No, thank you. Why is the UK gay? I don't know, Minna. I wish they'd fucking stop because it's upsetting me. Oh my god. If I could move to America, I would have done it fucking ages ago. I nearly did move to America. I managed to sneak into Canada. I was a Canadian permanent resident, right? And it's like, if I stayed in Canada for 3 years, then that would have allowed me to qualify for citizenship. Then I could have exploited the T1N visa to then go work in the US and get a green card there. Unfortunately, when I went to Canada, it was so shit and full of Indians, probably shit because it was full of Indians, that I was like, I could only stand being in a year in Canada before I was like, fuck this, I'm going back. Fuck this, I'm going back home. England, I ain't staying in Canada for 3 years. Fuck that. Go back to England. That's a true story as well, by the way. I'm not making that up. I remember getting off the plane at Toronto when I first went to Canada, and I almost wanted to turn back around to the pilot and be like, excuse me, sir, there appears to be a mistake. I thought this was a flight to Canada. You appear to have dropped me off in Bangladesh. Canada's fucked, man. Oh dear. Can't tell. Yeah, you can't tell people to speak English anymore either. Yeah, exactly. Britain does. The thing is, Britain doesn't need help. Just build a fucking wall around Britain. Don't let them immigrate to America and fuck up United States. Yeah, our bachelors are 3 years here in the UK, Calvin. I didn't do a Bachelor of Science, by the way. My bachelor's is actually in military history and international relations. I did a conversion master's degree to engineering whilst in service. It's sad people here don't remember the Lily Bolero. Oh, I fucking love the Lily Bolero song. It's a great song. Royal Logistics Corps theme song. It's the what's the word? It's the regimental. Well, not regimental. It's the Corps song. The Royal Logistics Corps. It's the stress, but you have nightmares about forgetting your special hat. My special hat, yeah. Actually, again, let me put my special hat on again. Hey, there we go. I got my special hat on again. Oh, you know what? I really didn't want to go to my own graduation. Like my family forced me to go to my own graduation. I really didn't want to go to it. I didn't see the point of like renting the gown and like the silly hat and then going to collect my little scroll. I was like, look, I've finished university now. I want to go to work. I want to, I just want to move on now. I hated university. I just spent all my time at university playing Rome 2 Total War and then Attila Total War in my room all day, every day. Never attended a single lecture. Yeah, I don't want to go back to university to grab my shit. I'm graduated, got my intake at Sandhurst in September. Forget about it. We elected Tony Blair when I was 3. That's why everything here is screwed. I think I was 4 when we elected Blair. 97 Tony Blair, right? 97. So yeah, I would have probably been 4, depending on what month it was. I'm clearly the most hateful human being ever, yeah. Yeah, how dare you, GD? You don't want to sleep with a transsexual? You fucking... Off to jail to you. 1 million years dungeon, no trial. I have the worst of both worlds, Maulington. I have dreams about my 4 years at a military academy. Yeah, did you, do warrant officers go to West Point, Pavlo? Like, how does your progression work? Do you go... What about senior non-commissioned officers as well? Where do they go to learn command? Do they have like their own academy, or do they? How does that work? Just pretend you're an Indian more. I can't do it, man. I don't like scamming people. Things are bad, but I'm never gonna leave Britain because Britain is my homeland. I wish I could share that. I admire that sentiment, Theodore, and I wish I could share it as well. My problem is that I've always felt more of an affinity to Americans than the United Kingdom anyway. I know this is like a superficial thing to say. I don't like tea or coffee. I don't like beans or beans on toast. I don't like how like meek and shy and weak like British people are. You know, it's like you get people in public get like, excuse me, I don't want to be a bother, but could I please perhaps perchance trouble you for the... It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, mate, just get on with it. What do you want from me? Do you want me to tell you the time? Yeah, sure, figure, it's 2:45. Like, why? How is that so fucking difficult? Why the fuck do you have to pad everything you say with like 5 or 6 please and thank yous? One please, like at any point in a sentence, and then a thank you at the end. That's fine. Like, don't be so fucking shy. I'm not gonna bite your head off for like talking to me in the street, right? Like, you think I'm some kind of fucking predator? Why are you so anxious about asking a perfectly reasonable thing from a stranger, like in the street? It's like British people are absolutely terrified to just ask a stranger for like directions. And then it's like whenever I went to like Iceland for the EVE Online convention called EVE Fan Fest, all the time there'd be Americans like walking up to me all the time going like, with zero fucks given, Americans would walk up to me and they'd be like, hey man, do you know where this hotel is, man? And I'd be like, oh yes, over there. Yeah, thank you, man. Hey buddy, cheers buddy. And they'd be like, yeah. That's genuinely why I enjoy the company of Americans more. It's because they're just so like, they don't give a shit, right? Like, I go to the Golden Corral in America and I'll just be like standing like over the pizza section getting myself some pizza, and just like random Americans would just like walk up to me and they'd be like, hey man, that pizza, that ain't cooked right, has it, man? That's a very doughy pizza, man. And I'd be like, yeah, that's an undercooked pizza, but it's not too bad. He'd be like, yeah, man, oh yeah, back in Tennessee, man, a pizza like that wouldn't fly back in Tennessee, man. Man, it's really hot in Tennessee. It's like, what the... Okay, thank you, sir. I mean, I just came here to grab a slice of pizza, but I guess I'll sit here and listen to you talk about Tennessee for the next 10 minutes. Sure, why not? Oh, Americans are funny. Excuse me, I'm still ill. Indian, what do you mean I'm not scanning anyone today? Probably, I guess I only know the anglicised versions. Yeah, smuggling Maulington into Detroit. Take him to Detroit. Oh no, no, please God, no! Anywhere but Detroit, no! So, Maulington, how do you feel about immigrating to America via flat rate shipping? I don't give a fuck. You know what? If I have to join the Aryan Brotherhood, if I have to join the Mexican cartel in order to become an American, I'll fucking do it at this point. I'll join any gang to be an American. Like, I don't care which one. I don't care if I have to spend my days in America in a Supermax prison with the brands. Get me in America. Get me out of this fucking miserable communist shithole, please. My Balkanoid ass ever goes to the UK, I'll probably get arrested 10 minutes for having a potty mouth. Yeah, I think, oh, you know what I'd love to see? Is I would love to see the British government like arrest an American for like hate speech. And I'd love to see what the US government would do about that, right? I do wonder if like an American getting arrested for stupid hate speech laws in the UK would warrant like an American carrier battle group with hostile intentions being deployed to the British coast. That would be absolute cinema. I'd love to see that. Then I'll fucking swim for it. I'll swim for the carrier. Take me with you guys. Take me with you. I'm one of you. Wait, Maulington is graduating. Oh god. Fucking the Phase Connect documentaries made me want to graduate a couple times. Yeah, the graduation ceremony is silly. Thought about the speaker feeling important with their yapping. Yeah, I agree. Why is the thumbnail Big Zam? Because I couldn't be fucking bothered, because I just spontaneously thought about doing this stream, so I just looked for the first like PNG I could find, and the first PNG I could find is Big Zam, so I was like, yeah, you know what, let's have fucking Big Zam as the thumbnail. Don't worry guys, just think about Big Zam. Silly Big Zam. It's a silly little, well, it's not a silly little mech. It's a silly big mech, just having fun, guys. Big Zam. Be more like Big Zam, guys. Be more like Big Zam. IRS is technically under the Treasury, not private, just separate. Like the department under, Homeland Security. My college days ended in 1990. Oh, fucking hell, bro. You're old. You are old, bro. I wasn't even born then. I left college after 4 years because I hated being a communications major. I see a lot of people do communications, actually. I think the only communications major I've actually seen go into communications is my aunt, funny enough. don't. It's the same thing with history, like graduates say. Like a lot of history graduates end up going into like engineering or data science, funnily enough. The 3 major US academies are 4-year universities that also commission graduates as second lieutenants. No warrants or NCOs. They have separate programs. Yeah, that makes sense. Grow a pair! Exactly. No, you are so English. No English like beans on toast. So just act. Yeah, I do wonder about. I think most English people just eat beans on toast because they're just really fucking poor from like all the taxes we have to pay in this godforsaken country. Oi, Smeghead, give me the time or give me your fucking wallet. I take people so off guard with how abrupt and direct I am when telling people that I'm after. Yeah, that's true, but then you Northerners tend to be very direct, Anastasia. But then I guess if you're speaking to other Northerners, I thought they'd be more accustomed to it. Does the law of the crown follow me in Scotland? It does. The law of the crown applies to Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, I'm afraid, Costas. Hold on, no coffee. Well, I do like coffee now, to be fair. It's like I like enjoying coffee. For me, I do enjoy coffee now. Like I've been making the Phase Connect coffees. I've tried all sorts of premium coffees, so I do enjoy it now. I do really enjoy the smell. I do enjoy the taste, and I've become a little bit of a coffee connoisseur. But even though I'm a bit of a coffee connoisseur now, it's more of a. When I say I don't like coffee, it's like coffee is like a special occasion for me. Like I don't like drinking coffee casually. It's like it has to be like a little moment for me almost. It's like I have to be reading a book or doing something where I can like focus on the drinking experience of the coffee. I don't use coffee as like a mechanism to just like get caffeine in me and down it, right? Coffee is like a special occasion for me. I don't like drinking regular, like Nestle, like the Nestle shit, right? I only like premium coffees. As a kid, before I had a phone, yeah, I did go to E-Fest actually, but yeah, I went to 2 E-Fests. Unfortunately, I stopped going to E-Fest, Fan Fest after COVID, and then my old alliance died when I took a break from Eve. So now I'm in the new alliance now. I'm in a C5 wormhole corporation. The one big elite C5 wormhole alliance that isn't Hard Knocks, Novak, or Laserhawks. I am in Almost Dangerous, which is part of the Wolves of Lupus alliance. As a kid, before I had a phone, I'd ask a random adult for their phone if I needed to call my mum. Ah, that's precious, Minna. Yeah, we don't have that level of like public trust in the UK anymore. We did in my lifetime. I remember when I was a kid, the UK was tremendously more ethnically homogenous than it was now, and it was a very high trust society. Like I remember, when I was I remember being 4 years old and getting like lost in town somewhere. I lost sight of like my mum, and like within seconds of like crying because I was lost, like every single like responsible adult within crying vicinity like basically came to me and helped me find my mum. And like shit like that doesn't fly anymore now. Like people these days, if they saw like a crying kid in the middle of nowhere, maybe one mother might come to the child's aid, but everyone else would just keep on walking like they don't see a fucking thing. Like no one these days likes each other, helps each other. Like everyone these days is just miserable and doesn't trust anyone or anything. Man, I love small talk. I'd be yapping to anyone. I fucking love small talk as well. As you can probably tell from this stream, I love saying random shit to my captive chat because I don't have to rant to myself anymore. My small talk is, do you believe God hides from his creation because he fears what he's made? Yeah, I fucking love Spy Kids. I love that movie as a kid. Haven't seen it since I was a kid. I might have to rewatch it. Maulington, Ringo Dachi, yeah. Iron up. Why me just come to the Balkans? You know what? I voted Brexit back in the day. I'm actually hoping for British re-entry to the European Union so that I can fucking move to Poland or somewhere now. Right? If I can't get to America, take me to Poland. Oh my god, this guy will really recruit the Scots and colonise us again. I will. The biggest mistake England made in its history was not full on annexing Wales and Scotland, in my opinion, and Ireland as well, for that matter. Maulington is more American right now than 75% of the US. This is a perfect opportunity for me to segue into my rant about why I love America. But first, I want to finish reading the chat comments, then I want to rant about why I love America. Oh my god, I've been streaming 3 hours, fuck me. Didn't tend to go more than 1 hour. At least I managed to finish off what I wanted to say about Dizzy. British government would have me in chains the moment I say hello in Ebonics. Because it's a novelty for me being from the UK, I actually love Ebonics. Like, I love ghetto talk, hood talk. I find it funny and fascinating. Hey, Herbo Saki. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you, Herbo. Y'all got oil? We do, actually, Kramer. We have a lot of oil in Scotland. So, yeah, that is... You just noticed the ETH background music? Hell yeah, I fucking love the ETH background music. Under the Asteroids. Incredible. Love it. And this song as well. I don't know, I can't remember what song this is called. I don't think this is Under the Asteroids. But this is like the typical high-sec Jeter background song. Big Sam, the last Sam, Big Sam. Big Sam. Brits are polite. People are not terrified of asking a question. They just say, excuse me, do you have the time? They do that's around it like it, but you just sound oigophobic. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, Theodore is right. I am like exaggerating. I'm grossly exaggerating the way British people are. It comes from like a culture of politeness and well-manneredness, but it is, I do find it to be like really insufferable sometimes. So it is really annoying when it's like people are so desperate not to offend you and that they're like trying to sound as nice and as reasonable as possible in a request that they're making of you, but it's like they're annoying me more because they're inserting so much waffle to not offend me. It's actually offending me because they're taking longer than they need to, so it's annoying. Oh my god, thank you very much for the 5 gifted membership subscribers, buddy. Thank you very much, my friend, much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. I want to go to Poland. I thought you were avoiding the pussy. I've seen these things. Poland seems to have a femboy problem these days, and I don't know why. Don't you have chavs? We do have chavs. We do have chavs, but the chavs are a dying breed these days, actually. I think chavs are being replaced by those fucking drill rapper retards who go around thinking that they're half black, half Caribbean kind of thing. Yeah, drag like fucking these drill rappers, man. They're a nuisance these days. But yes, thank you very much for the 5 membership subscribers. Much appreciated, buddy. Thank you, thank you. I want to see more green here. Yeah, I mean, thank you very much. I do appreciate the gifted membership. So remember, guys, I very much appreciate what you do, but remember, I'm essentially here for my own sake. I'm just here to have fun, and just making content and fucking around and doing this shit is a reward in and of itself. I don't expect or ask for any donations, memberships, whatever. So I do very much appreciate it if you give me that support. Thank you. All the money you do give me gets basically reinvested back into the stream, mainly through buying the Face Connect coffees for review at this point, basically. But yeah, don't ever feel the need you need to give me anything for doing this shit. I just do it for my own sake because I think it's fun. So yeah, don't worry about it. Thank you very much for the gifted membership as well, Calvin, buddy. Thank you very much, my friend. Much appreciated. I guess as well, at the same time, it's like, I have such an irregular streaming and content schedule. It's been almost a year since my last like major proper Face Connect uploads. I don't really deserve any money either, honestly. It's like, that's kind of something I want to keep as well. I don't want to, I very much do want to have a culture of, look, only give me the money if you want to. I'm never gonna like have a throne, a Patreon, or like ask you for shit, because I like the freedom of not owing you anything. But the thing is, even if I had like, even if no one gave me any money, or even if I had no memberships, I still feel like really guilty about not streaming or uploading or providing any content, right? I like have that permanent sense of guilt for not making enough content, even if you don't give me anything. So I've got that. I guess it's a good. I guess that's a good attitude to have, right? Because that's the entertainer's mindset, right? That even if I don't owe you anything and you don't owe me anything, I still feel really bad, that you subscribe to me and that you've invested your time into me, and I'm not giving you anything, right? But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the whole situation. But yeah, thank you very much for the gifted membership, Calvin. Thank you, thank you. Your chavs nowadays are all refugees. God, you know what? I never thought I'd say this in my lifetime. I actually miss the chavs. More chavs, fewer quote-unquote refugees, please. We too have a culture of politeness, but brother, if you're not saying what you have to say, then stop wasting our time. Yeah, I've been spoken to Finnish people before. I like the way like Finnish people are. Not only did the finish get to the point, they just completely cut out like irrelevant non-questions. Like if you ask a Finnish person, you know, like, how are you? Like in the UK, that's just like a polite way of saying like, you know, good morning. But in Finland, they're like, look, don't fucking. Do you actually mean? Are you actually asking me, how, you know, like how I am or not? Because if you don't actually mean it, then don't fucking say it. I actually quite like that. Like the Finnish are a bit autistic in that way, and I like it. There's a map online which shows a territory of all the dual rap gangs in London and whichever gangs they have feud. God, the fucking idea, the whole concept of drill rap in the first place is ridiculous. But for there to be drill rap gangs, Christ, how fucking sad and pathetic that is. Thank you very much for the $2, Daniel Sierra, buddy. Thank you very much, friend. Get money, nerd. Get money, get money, get money. Thank you very much, buddy. I very much appreciate it. Maulington isn't a member of the Merchants Guild. You know, I'm not actually a member of the Merchants Guild, although I do get really fucking excited every time there's a new Seth upload. I've said this before, right? But if I had Seth and Lumi like appear in my stream at the same time, I would fangirl over Seth more than Lumi being in my chat. And Mandalore as well, for that matter. I think my hierarchical order would be biggest fangirling over Seth, then Mandalore, then Lumi. Maulington is a throwback to the OG videos who just uploaded stuff for their own amusement. Not to toot my own horn, Pablo, but I do think that is exactly what I am. I'm one of the few good real VTubers out there who's making content in the spirit of which this website was originally created for, back in the early 2000s, which is of course the good old days where YouTubers were some random dickhead with piss poor editing skills who just uploaded whatever the fuck he felt like, who wanted to maybe vent his hyperfixation to other people who also had the same hyperfixation. Whereas of course these days, most other content creators, all they care about is money and numbers. That's all you are to them. You're just money and numbers, and content creation is just a vessel for them to accrue power, content and money. But not me, you see. I actually care an awful great deal about your entertainment and enjoyment, as well as my own, and I like making things because I enjoy making them, not because it will simply make me popular or lots of money or get me clout. So yeah, meow, 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 meow. I'm smug like that. Don't know what the fuck those noises were. I just try to experiment with my rigging a second, see what kind of faces I can pull. I'm just trying to work my model now to get like a good smug face. Hang on, what's a good smug face? Like a good arrogant, haughty face. Yes, I'm Lord Maulington. I'm better than you. Yeah, I think that works. That's a good smug face. Yeah, oh my god, hang on, I'm gonna have to lean over my fucking phone again because I can't see chat. Congrats, you caught up to chat. Thank you, Nova Crusader. I'm really proud of myself for catching up to chat. Why, hello, Lord Maulington. Hello, the Meta Wookie. Did you see Parrot 4 China's I did see that Parrot 4 China's currently out of a job. We did talk about that earlier in the stream. That's fucking funny. Like I said before earlier though, on a serious note, Parrot 4chan is like funny and creative enough that he'll be fine making like his own original content from scratch. He can always do comedic commentary if he's struggling to find stuff to do. Right? He doesn't need to piggyback off of 4chan schizo posts. Parrot 4chan will be fine. He doesn't have anything to be worried about. But yeah, anyway, the Metal Wookie, as a former old school Something Awful forums goon, I am extremely smug that 4chan is in the shit right now. Particularly after the Something Awful forums went to complete shit and fucking died about 13 years ago. So it's nice to see it happen to 4chan as well. Congrats, you're longer 20 minutes behind the chat. Hell yeah, guys. I finally caught up. Well, Lumi did comment on one of your streams about getting the... Oh yeah, she did actually. I got two comments from Lumi on my videos. She commented on the Sheena video about the play buttons, and she also commented on her own video where she saw the part where I mentioned that I managed to manipulate her into pushing my own video on Twitter. And then she said, I'm only your cameo, she, because of the algorithm boost on your video. I see how it is. That was fucking funny. That made me laugh. Actually made me low-key worried a little bit, because I was like, oh shit, did she like misunderstand what I was saying on that segment? I mean, it was a joke. I was joking, right? She's not actually my cameo, she, because she boosted my video. I hope she didn't get the wrong idea. Good night, Tempest, if you're still here. Good night, Tempest. Good night, Tempest. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, Parrot's gonna die, but he kind of glad it's not Niji for once. But hello, God, yeah, fucking Niji Sanji was gonna kill Parrot at this rate. You're American now. Embrace capitalism. I mean, I'm still embrace capitalism, even if I'm not an American. Loads of money, loads of money. Hello, Lukester. Dosh, loads of money. LODSOFMONE. What's that spell? Loads of money, probably. Time for the smug face. I might make a channel to upload videos. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'd like to watch that Phoenix Shaman. Because I'm an old man now, and as I get older, I've started liking trains. I've started liking big trucks. I'm starting to like the idea of fishing now as well. So yeah, I'd like to watch fishing on the lake or something. You should do an entire stream like that sometime. What, looking smug, Nova Crusader? I'm not quite sure what you reference there now, sorry. We need a Char model for Lord Maulington. But I do have an outfit idea in the Metal Wookiee. My next outfit is I'm going to have the Gundam Char glasses, and I'm going to have like long Yamcha style, like 1980s rockstar hair. And I'm going to have like an outfit that's a throwback to Char's outfit in Char's counterattack as well. So yeah, that is coming. I am gonna basically have a Char model and look alike at some point. This is the face that got Clarkson sacked. Hell yeah. Power! Power! Hammond! Put the crown on that guy. The slitted eyes and tilted back head are important traits. He's dying again. Yep. I'm getting a little bit too excited and it's making my flu come back. 4chan isn't dead yet. It's back up but very slow. Yeah, apparently a lot of the Jannies were like Redditors and like people that 4chaners don't really normally like, and like government honeypots and stuff, which is pretty funny, but part of the course. Yeah, I imagine a great many 4chan mods were like FBI people and like Redditors and shit. Dude, as a funny junker, I'm smug as hell. Like the old saying goes, funny junk 4chans. 4chins, yeah. Long live admin, long live funny junk. God, is Funny Junk fully dead now, or is it like still active, but like kind of not as popular as it used to be? My laws catch them when others aren't. That sounds good. 1 second, sorry. Oh dear. Clara though, she comments on everything. Clara does fucking comment on everything. I think Clara's a hard worker. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, the smug expression and voice. Yeah, okay, I might do that sometime. Yeah, could do a roleplay stream, kind of like Lumi does, right? Just like have a smug Maulington stream where I don't know, a smug Maulington stream where I just like mock the chat and like look down on things in a comedic way. I have so many ideas for like streams and content. I just need like the fucking energy and like motivation to do them all. Sadly, the problem is that making pre-recorded videos, like doing the script and the voiceover and all that shit, is like such a mentally draining work. It affects my ability to stream, but then the problem is that if I stream a lot, then that gives me no energy to do any work on pre-recorded videos. Unfortunately, I really struggle to do both streaming and pre-recorded videos at the same time. Really difficult. That's why I don't stream anywhere near as much as I could. Once I've got the Faith documentary done, hopefully that'll put a lot off my shoulders so that I can fucking like start streaming more. Look, I mean, when you start playing retro games, more retro games than modern games, that's when you know you're old. Yeah, that's been me for like 10 years now. I've basically been going back to my the old games in my Steam library for 10 years. Like, gaming's been shit for quite a while now. People were saying that some of the exposed emails were .gov accounts, but that wasn't true. Loads of them, they were .edu accounts. Okay, using their real names. Yeah, probably university students then, I imagine. Everything went downhill since 2000. I'd go back earlier than that. I'd say everything went to shit after 2012, honestly. Have you heard about the cocaine? I haven't heard about the cocaine now. Well, the recent phase meme was hilarious, part 3. Thank you, Calvin. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm kind of getting a little bit maybe I should calm down a bit. I'm getting a little bit emboldened with like making, you know, like racist jokes and shit. Maybe I need to calm down a little bit with that. But I really enjoyed like the Ringo Dachi, or basically the Aryan Brotherhood memes in the latest video. I'd actually like to make a mockumentary about how Panko is actually like the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood, and the Ringo Dachi are like AB members. But yeah, obviously, I don't think Panko or Fishman would appreciate me doing that, and it would be copyright infringement. Yeah, I just really love the idea of the Ringo Dachi being like white supremacists. Though it just fits like the theme of the Ringo Dachi so much. You need to take better care of your health, so you're not on life support every other week too. That's very true, actually. I have been really not been looking after myself since Christmas. I have ballooned in weight. I have put on so much weight, and I've been exercising about a fifth as much as I used to. So yeah, I am not in a good fit state at the moment. I really need to get back to doing combat sports, lifting, and my wrestling regime, because yeah, the old stomach right now is getting a bit tight around the old stomach is getting a bit tight around the trouser waists. Should we even ask Maulington about the Trench Crusade game? Talk about a shit show. Really fucking disappointed with the Trench Crusade situation. I was really looking forward to Trench Crusade, honestly. I don't give a shit about the board game of Trench Crusade, but like the universe, like the Crusades, like Demonic Crusades meets World War One. Absolute fucking cinema. I love like the aesthetic, I love the lore, I love the whole setting of Trench Crusade even more than Warhammer 40k or Warhammer Fantasy. The movies and like the shows and all the programs you can make about the trench setting universe, absolute fucking cinema. Like watching trench warfare, right, with like fucking demons and like heretics and like fucking, you know, the Christ genetic experiments shit, you know, like the Great Iron Wall of the Sultanate and shit. Oh my god, as like a history nerd, fucking absolute cinema. The grungy World War One aesthetic with like the really hyper focus on the religiosity and like the kind of crusade settings as well at the same time. I fucking love that so much. Love those two periods of history. And then the developer has to go ahead and ruin the entire thing by being a bunch of like shit lib cuck, we're gonna own the chuds bullshit. Now, here's the thing, right? So before I get into that, I just want to say, if the developer had equally had a problem with the chuds, like the people like Arch Warhammer, as well as the shit lib leftists, then I would be completely okay with that. In fact, I would respect them more if the developers were like, look guys, we just want to make a game and like here's our vision for the game. Now those, you like fucking rightoid chud dickheads who want to introduce like politics and race into everything, and the same with you fucking leftist shit libs as well. Were you two groups of people like just shut the fuck up and fuck off and just let us focus on making a good entertaining game? And that would be like the best option in my opinion. That's what the developers should have done. Should have told like your Arch Warhammers and your other guys to like just fuck off and stop like bringing our IP into the culture war, and just keep it hyper focused on making a nice, good, fun game with great setting. But unfortunately, they picked the worst possible option, which was to pick the shit lib side. So now it's like, yeah, I don't really particularly want to support or care for a product of people whose primary incentive is fuck the chuds, and demons are actually the good guys kind of message that they seem to be like pushing. Like in a world where you've got demonic sacrifice and like blood sacrifices and like babies and literal hell, how can you say that there are no good guys in your setting? It's like, yeah, I appreciate that humanity does some morally questionable things, but you've got one side is fighting for its very survival, and then you've got the literal demonic forces of hell trying to wipe out all life as we know it. I don't care if the church and humanity does some dodgy things and is some kind of authoritarian, you know, ethically ambiguous dystopia. As a human being myself, I don't want my entire civilization to be wiped out by the demons and to spend an eternity being tortured in hell. I quite like living and not suffering eternal torture in hell. Okay, fine. There's technically no. Okay, you might say there's no good moral virtuous people, but if you think I'm going to take anyone's side but humanity's, you are sorely fucking mistaken, my friend. I don't give a shit about demons. The only good demon is a dead demon. Kill all the demons. Blow up the demons. Fuck the demons with missiles and bombs and shit. Kill the demon children. Murder demon worshippers. Burn the demons. Mount the demons with holy water. Kill all the demons. What if the demons are hot? No. We exterminate all demons. I want to see no demons. Complete demon genocide. Okay, complete demon genocide. No demons. No demons. The Pankreich will rise again. Everything went to shit after that damn German monk. When gaming sucks, oh, you know what? I should stream myself playing Max Payne. Max Payne, what a fucking game that was. My first introduction to kind of the whole film noir kind of thing, Max Payne. God, you know, I really didn't appreciate Max Payne's like cinematography as a kid. But now, like, I watched some of the cutscenes again and a little bit of gameplay the other week, and I was like, oh my god, this game is so good. We used to play the shit out of Max Payne 2 when I was a kid as well. Max Payne 2 was good. I've never actually used bullet time in Max Payne 2 because the slow-mo dive was so powerful. I didn't really actually need bullet time. Goblin Slayer rant about the young. You know what, funnily enough, I love Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer is a guilty pleasure of mine. I buy all the light novels every time they come out. I actually love Goblin Slayer. When Goblin Slayer starts out, it starts out kind of like Berserk, and you think, fucking hell, this is like really intense because you've got the goblin rape and you've got like unwanted goblin pregnancy, and you know you've got all that really dark, ultra realistic shit where like Goblin Slayer has to like really properly plan out his attacks on goblin holes and like set up these traps and shit. And then by about light novel 5, it basically becomes your average, almost like it's not an isekai, but it's got many of the same world, like what do you call it, like world setting features of an isekai, right? Because it's got a ranking system, like an adventures guild and shit. So it's kind of like it basically just becomes like another happy-go-lucky isekai, where it's like now go and the fucking and poor Goblin Slayer gets cucked by his party mates. So like, now Goblin Slayer, if we're gonna come on you on this adventure to kill all the goblins, you're not allowed to. Now Goblin Slayer, if we're gonna come on this adventure with you, you're not allowed to put the goblins in the gas chambers or put them in the furnaces, okay? and Goblin Slayer's like, Sokka. And it's like, no, don't cuck Goblin Slayer. If Goblin Slayer wants to kill the goblins, let him do it. I really enjoy Goblin Slayer too. It shouldn't be, but there's a lure to it that a lot of anime have lost. Yeah, Goblin Slayer I think it's basically like almost like a Dungeons and Dragons. Like it's like someone basically is just like making an anime or like a light novel about a Dungeons and Dragons campaign they had once and just thinking about what would happen to their characters if it's a real world. Be interested to see what they do with the 3rd season of Goblin Slayer. The season 2 was a little meh, not bad, but not up to season 1 standards. Yeah, I mean, what would entail a season 3 of Goblin Slayer has been adapted in the light novels for a long time, and it will probably start off. Season 3 will probably start off really slow, but it will pick up again in like in about the middle to end of season 3, I reckon. There's a few light novels where it becomes like a boring slice of life kind of thing, and like there's no stakes and nothing matters. Then a little after, by around about light novel 8, it really does like pick up again, and you start to see like what's going on in the background with this whole demonic thing, and you meet some interesting characters. He wants to fuck the goblin. Hey, Redgrids. He wants to fuck the goblins with his sword daggers and everything else he can get his hands on. Yeah, true. I mean, I want. Who is best girl in Goblin Slayer, guys? Who is the best girl in Goblin Slayer? I actually quite like the receptionist. A lot of people prefer cowgirl, but I like the receptionist. I like office woman. I like prim, proper office ladies. Elf, really? Elf is a bit too flat for me. She's an anvil. I don't like the anvil. Cowgirl is best girl. There it is. There it is. Everybody's saying cowgirl. I like receptionist. The other part of Goblin Slayer that intrigues me, the analogy between how the goblins behave and how, oh my god, and how modern jihadists in, say, ISIS or Al-Qaeda act. Lots of analogies that could be made. You know what, Pavlo, I never thought that there was an analogue between the goblins in Goblin Slayer and fucking suicide terrorists, but now that you mention it, sure, I can see it. I can see it, yeah. That is an interesting one. I like Priest Girl and Sword Maiden. I like Sword Maiden as well, because obviously I like blondes, but Sword Maiden is in that territory where they draw her tits way too big. She's got a grotesque level of boob sizes, a bit too much. She's too lewd. Like, Sword Maiden has too little clothing and her boobs are a little bit too big. Reduce the breast a little bit, give her a bit more clothing, then she'd be perfect. I always thought the goblins were more merchant guild members, yeah. It's always that analogy being drawn. Because you need to behave yourself, you're very naughty boys. I always repeat the Kingdom Under Fire meme. God wills it! God wills it! I don't understand why people like Kingdom of Heaven as much as they do. Kingdom of Heaven is a good movie, but it's like, it's Muslim propaganda. Like, in that movie, they portray the Christians to be a bunch of bloodthirsty religious psychopaths. And I mean, absolutely some of the religious orders absolutely were this way, as were some of the Christians who are basically glorified looters looking for new fief, like looking for like new counties or just loot to plunder because they were second or third sons or whatever. But it's like every scene with the Muslims, they're always, I mean, to an extent, it was true that around about this time period, unless you lived in like Byzantium or somewhere, and compared to many Western Europeans, the Muslims were considerably more advanced in literacy, like science and research and stuff. But it's like every time you go to Saladin's camp, it's always like they're such a noble, like wise band of like warrior monks at peace of nature who desperately don't want to cause any conflict, but those dastardly Templars and their bloodthirsty war crime religious fanaticist nonsense. They just keep forcing our hands. We've got no choice but to defend ourselves. And it's like, if I recall, actually, the Seljuk Turks and the Muslims were an invading force, forcing Christians from their native lands, I believe, and that both Christians and Jews suffered greatly under the occupation of the Turks and the other Muslim powers at the time, I believe. So no, actually, they weren't these noble bands of perfectly lovely. And also, at the end of actually Kingdom of Heaven, Saladin did not let every single fucking prisoner that they took at the battle. They did not let them all go free of charge, actually. Saladin took most of them as slaves to sell on for money. He did let some of them go, which is more than many other Muslim commanders did, but he didn't let all of them go for free. Many of them were sold into slavery and never made it back home. Propaganda. Hollywood propaganda. Kingdom of Heaven. Still a good fun movie though. Yeah, the myths and half-truths told about the Crusades are countless, yeah. But no one ever asks. It's like, So remind me, where did the borders of the Muslims start before the start 50 years before the First Crusade? And then leading up to and then please show me what the borders looked like the year before the Crusades. I wonder why the Crusades happened. Well, Braveheart is Scottish propaganda as well. I wouldn't say Braveheart is Scottish propaganda so much as it is just an excuse for Mel Gibson to go on a coke-fueled rant about how much he hates the English, right? That's the thing about early 2000s Mel Gibson, is that he was a frothing at the mouth Anglophobe. So he'd make these historical movies which are just an excuse to hate on the English. Hey, Ituoni. Do you know what? I don't actually have that much of a problem with The Patriot. I think Mel Gibson did a very terrible job at portraying the English as the bad guys in The Patriot, and he actually, in my perspective, he actually ended up making the English look like the good guys in The Patriot, and let me explain why. Because in The Patriot, throughout the entirety of The Patriot, the Americans were portrayed as being a bunch of, rebellious, young men forced into a war against England against their will because the tyrannical English are basically infringing upon their rights. But throughout the entirety of the Patriots, the English are very cordial. Well, except for Colonel Colonel, whatever the fuck his name is, I forget. But except for the bloodthirsty psychopathic cavalry colonel, it's like General Cornwallis throughout that entire movie is nothing but civil, cordial, and respectful with the Americans. He always honors his word. He always treats them with the maximum amount of respect. He treats them as their equals, and he's always willing to negotiate with them. And other than a little bit of bragging about kicking their ass in battle, otherwise he does give them their due respect. And then the way those plucky Americans repay this distinguished English gentleman who treats them with all the respect and character that their station deserves. Instead, the Americans regularly conduct like illegal forms of warfare, constantly break their deals, and constantly like trick the English who are trying to make like a deal in good faith, like with the prisoner exchange. But then it's like Mel Gibson tries to portray it as it's like, the Americans have got one over on those dastardly evil English. Look, this prisoner exchange was supposed to take place between British officers and American officers, but we didn't have any British officers. Hey, we win. But it's like, actually, if you think about it, Mel Gibson's character gave his word as an officer and a gentleman in the Continental Army. Well, I guess he wasn't really in the Continental Army, but he, as an officer representing the Continental Army of the United States of America, he gave his word as a gentleman to General Cornwallis that he had British prisoners and that there would be a fair exchange of prisoners in exchange for release. And he broke his deal as a gentleman, right? He is a most dishonorable, disgusting rapscallion he is a ne'er-do-well, right? He is a knave. He is a bad man. He is not a gentleman. It makes the Americans actually look bad. So I actually think The Patriot made the English look fantastic, honestly. Even though there was that really cringe part at the end where the Americans are out, and then he just waves the flag, and then the Americans go, "Oh, look, it's a flag. Yeah, now we'll fight to the death." That was cringe. But I actually thought it was he could have portrayed the English much worse than he did. And even the bloodthirsty Colonel Tava, or whatever the fuck his name was, all the other officers, right, like in General Cornwallis's camp, all hate him and think the guy's an asshole. So yeah, I don't know if Mel Gibson intended to make the English actually look pretty good in that Revolutionary War movie, but I think he did a good job of it. Yeah, yes, Colonel whatever the fuck. It's got like called Colonel T something. Particularly as like fucking Colonel T murdered Mel Gibson's son as well. Oh, you know what? My favourite part of The Patriot is the beginning scene. You know what? Let's break copyright, guys. Let's break some fucking copyright a minute, and let's play the intro of The Patriot so that people who haven't seen this glorious movie can see this majesty. Hang on, give me 1 second, guys. Where's my Eve music, actually? I just turned it off. Here we go. Is this the... No. Hang on, The Patriot. It's not exactly the opening. Battle of... yes, Battle of Camden, isn't it? Yep. Here we go. Hang on, let me put this on stream for you. Hopefully YouTube won't fucking hit me with a copyright strike. Here we go. Oh, this gives me an erection. This gives me a raging hard on. This gives me a raging hard on this scene. Yay! Let's go England! Hell yeah, get them boys. Yeah, fuck them up. Make ready! Halt! Yeah, you boys done fucked up. You going muzzle to muzzle with redcoats in an open field. Get fucked. No, they're firing too early. Too early. They're not in range yet. Actually, hang on, give me 1 second. I just want to check to see if the stream has. I haven't got the thing up, so I can actually see if the stream is still going. Okay, the stream is in fact still going. Let me put chat over there a minute, and then let's continue. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Let's continue.
I'm not going back.
No, I didn't expect you would. That Gates is a damn fool.
Gates is a damn fool. Spent too many years in the British Army. Going muzzle to muzzle with redcoats in the open field, it's madness.
Open field, it's madness.
Make ready! Present! Fire! There we go, now they're in range. Oh, this battle was over before it began. Get fucked, idiot.
This battle was over before.
And then here comes the cavalry. Here comes the cavalry. Look, chat, it's me. It's me leading the charge. Yeah, get him, boys. Get him, Lucius Malfoy. This is the best part of the entire movie right now. These rustics are so inept.
These rustics are so inept. Nearly takes
The honor out of victory. Nearly.
Nearly.
Great movie. Classic. Ooh.
An epic.
Love it. Oh, what the fuck is that? I've forgotten now what I need to do. There we go. Here I am. I'm back. Here I am. Hello. Oh dear. Okay, now let me put chat back in the middle. I mean, the lobster uniforms were pretty good. They were. You know the reason why the British used red as their battlefield colour? It's because red was the cheapest dye at the time. Logistics, guys. Logistics. Cheapest dye, reduce the cost of your army. Background music. Let's wrap it up here, actually. I'm nearly streaming 4 hours. It's been fucking ages. What was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah, I was going to rant about how much I love America, wasn't I? Do I have time to rant about how much I love America? Lamau, I love you, quoting it as a Brit. I love you too. Wait, why was the Grenadiers song playing if the Grenadiers weren't even there? They look like regular bitches. Yeah, well spotted, E2. They weren't Grenadiers. They were regular line infantry. And the Grenadiers weren't there at the Battle of Camden. The reason why they were playing the... and again as well, not only that, but they weren't playing the theme of the Grenadier Guards at the correct pace either. If they were playing that song properly, it should have been at least at twice the pace. The Grenadier Guards pay, I can't remember the exact number, but it's easily double the pace as that they were playing it. It's actually a fast march, the theme of the Grenadier Guards. It's a very quick pace. Not as quick as it's not as quick as the rifles, but it's still a quick paced march. But the reason why they did it is just because Americans, the only thing Americans know about the British Army during the Revolutionary War, right, is they only know about the Grenadiers basically. So Americans recognize the theme of the Grenadier Guards. I thought it was to hide the blood too. No, that's actually a meme. The reason for the red dye was purely because of purely because it was the cheapest dye. Kind of what happened after the fact is that in a kind of tongue-in-cheek British way, it was kind of put in the officer's manual that the reason that one of the advantages of having red tunics is that it hides the blood, and therefore it doesn't panic the men when the officer gets injured. Because yeah, red doesn't hide blood, it just turns it dark brown, so they can still see it. They'll still be able to see a very clear wet stain under the officer's tunic. But it was kind of like a thing to boost morale and kind of explain things to officers. It was yes, the reason why we wear red tunics, chaps, is because you see it panics the men when an officer gets injured. So if you wear red, then they can't see the blood, and then the chaps will be jolly good. It's the same thing. A British officer doesn't duck because a British officer ducking for cover, it upsets the men, it panics the men, it makes them think they're in danger. So British officers must remain upright at all times, even when they're under heavy machine gun fire in the First World War. Wouldn't they already feel a gunshot going off? Yeah, they would. It's the thing. That's again, it's a meme. But it's the Treasury purely did it because it was the cheapest dye. Simple as that. But yeah, I want to go on a rant a minute about my British. I do like the British uniforms. Cavalry uniforms in this period are really nice as well. Actually, hang on. I don't think I've really shown like my full. I don't think I've really shown my full model much before, have I? Let me show you the full Maulington experience. This is what my model looks like in its entirety. Look, I've got a cavalry saber. Actually, hang on a minute. What's my Oh, no, that's the CPIs. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Hey, I've got a sword. And then with the hat, hey, look, I'm a cavalry officer, guys. Fucking hell, Hobosaki. Hobosaki, calm. Someone get some water and spray it on Hobosaki, please. Down, boy. Bad, Hobosaki. Bad. No feet. No feet, Hobosaki. No feet. I fucking love Hobosaki. Everybody subscribe to Hobosaki if you want the best Yuri clips in the business, by the way. Hobosaki love. Oh, you know what? I was gonna go on. You know what? Actually, you know what? I promised I'd do it. I'm gonna do it now. Even if I have the energy to go on the rant now, I'm not gonna remember my rant. You know what? No, I can't. I don't have the energy to do the rant. I was gonna go on a 10-minute rant about how much I love America, and in particular, how much I love the Coca-Cola freestyle machine. Actually, you know what? Actually, that's kind of now that I've started, that's giving me the energy to do it. Okay. So one of the big things I love about America is that you guys have lots of choices, right? There's loads of choices in America, from everything from food to drink. So in Europe, it's like in Europe, if you want like a drink, you go to a restaurant and you want a drink in Europe, then it's like, okay, it costs like, let's say $6 for a glass of Coke. And that's it, right? It's $6 for a glass of Coke specifically. And it's like 400 mil. It's less than that. It's probably like 300 milliliters of Coke. 300 milliliters of Coke. That'll cost you $6, please. And you're asking specifically just for Coke. And when the restaurant hands you this Coke, it's basically bottled Coke that they keep in a fridge somewhere. And then they just chuck a bunch of ice on top of it. Whereas, when you go to America, when you go to the United States and you go to like a restaurant, you go to a McDonald's or whatever the fuck, you don't order a drink, you order a container, right? So it's not like, hey guys, here's a, thank you very much for the membership, Reaver buddy. Good, oh my God, 10 months, fuck me. Thank you very much, Reaver. Thank you very much for being a member all this time. 10 months of supporting a furry. Man, how I've fallen. Hope you're doing good, man. I am doing very good, thank you, Reaver. How are you? I am on the mend. I should be back on schedule starting tomorrow to finish off that Aruka and Leah coffee review and get some other videos out as well. So yeah, look forward to that. But where was I speaking? Yeah, so it's like in Europe, it's like you go to a restaurant, whatever, $6 for like a glass of Coke. But in the United States, you don't order a drink specifically. You order a container. It's like, hey, so for $4, you can have like the kiddie cup, which is like 2 liters tall. So it's an adult super large in Europe by European standards. If you don't want the kiddie cup, for $1 extra, we'll give you a 10-liter bucket to drink from instead, if you want. We've got this 10-liter bucket, just $1 extra to drink out of this 10-liter bucket. And then it's like, what's that? If the bucket's not enough for you, then we've got a fucking empty lake. We've got a lake out back. We'll empty that lake out for you. We'll fill an entire fucking lake. That's about 7,000 liters, and we'll fill it up with whatever the fuck you want. Like what do you want? And it's like, okay, I'll just have the cup, please. I'll have the cup. And it's like, right, okay, now what you need to do is there's this machine over there. There's this machine. It's called the Coca-Cola Freestyle machine, and it's got 200 different variations of soda in it, right? So you could pick whatever you want. They've got like fucking grape soda, lime. You got like grape Coke, lime Coke, tropical Coke, peach Coke. None of which exists in Europe at all, by the way. We've only got Diet Coke and regular Coke. So I'm looking at all these wonderful, and I'm looking at this machine, this Coca-Cola Freestyle machine, right? And it's like something from fucking Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. I'm wondering if there's like a fucking Oompa Loompa inside like this machine, right? It's like I'm looking at this machine and it's like, fucking hell, no wonder Germany lost the war if this is like what Americans can invent. They invented a machine that's got fucking 200 different kinds of soda in it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is this something from Harry Potter? Is it like fucking Dumbledore's gonna come up to me and he's gonna be like, yes, and the Coca-Cola machine on the second floor corridor is out of bounds to anybody who does not wish to suffer a most painful diabetes. But this fucking Coca-Cola machine, man, I'm addicted to all these weird and wonderful American Coca-Colas. Like, I went to a Bubba Gump Shrimp in Florida, right? And as I walked into the Bubba Gump Shrimp, they had like a complimentary glass of water on the table for me. And like, as the waitress took my order, she asked drinks first, right? So she got me a Coke. And then she gave me some time to like go over the menu and see what I wanted to eat at Bubba Gump Shrimp. And then once she brought me my drink and she took my order, she then went away, gave me my Coke, and then in like 2 minutes, because I was so fucking thirsty, like I drank this tropical Coke, I drank like a liter of Coke in like 2 minutes flat. And then like as she went to go prepare another table for someone else, she saw that I just drank this Coke, and so she went back into the kitchen. She took the glass, went back into the kitchen, got me another Coke, and then in the time it took her to go back into the kitchen and bring me another Coke, I drank the the complimentary glass of water there at the beginning. And then as she put down the glass of Coke that I had, she then took the empty glass of water and asked me if I wanted to refill my glass of water, and I said yes. And so as she went back into the kitchen to refill my glass of water, in that meantime I drank the glass of Coke that she just gave me, and then she came back with the full glass of water and she was like, do you want to fucking refill on this tropical Coca-Cola? And I was like, yes please, I'll have a refill of my tropical Coca-Cola please. And then she came back a bit later this time, and she came back with my drink, and then she came back with my food. And then she was like, here you go, here's your shit. And then she went off for a while and then let me go off to start eating my food. And then like as she was like getting a table ready for like a family next to me, and then after she'd done with that, she saw as I was in the middle of eating my food, I drank all my Coke again, and I drank the glass of water. So then she took the glass of water and the Coke back into the fucking kitchen. And then she brought it back to me. And then she asked me how my food was. I was like, yep, food's great, thank you. And then and then she left me alone for a while. I didn't see her again. And then when that family who was next to me, when she came to bring like their food in a little bit later, I drank my water and my Coke again. She got me another fucking refill. And I was like, hell yeah, you can't do that in the UK. You can't do that in Europe because you have to pay $5 for a glass of Coke. But in America, it's like, fuck yeah, just buy it once and just refill, just infinite refills. But I really enjoyed that tropical Coca-Cola, man. I legit have an addiction. How can you drink that much Coke? I tell you what, I don't know how I managed to drink that much Coke, but later that night it was Halloween Horror Nights, so I was going on like all the haunted houses and shit, right? And each of the haunted houses normally has like a 40-minute to 1 hour long wait, and I couldn't queue that night for a single haunted house because I drank so much water and Coke. I needed to piss like every 5 minutes. So if I tried to wait in line, I would be in serious risk of pissing myself. So I had to go home after trying to go on one of the rides for an hour because I was in a constant need of trying to piss myself, on the verge of pissing myself. I just relieved my bladder, and 5 minutes later, my bladder would be fucking full again from all the goddamn drinks I had. And as to the reason, yeah, $5 for a refill. This Bubba Gump Shrimp I went to, you only infinite refills. You only pay for the drink once. So yeah, I took advantage of it. But yeah, as well, at Halloween Horror Nights is that you can actually buy these like Halloween Horror Night cups. So it's like $20 for one person, and you can have like unlimited refills at the Coca-Cola machines spread throughout the park. So the way it works out is that to get your money's worth, you need to drink about 4 separate glasses of Coke in order to like meet equal. So like if you ordered 4 separate glasses of Coke from somewhere, that would be equal to how much one of these cups cost. But me being me, I had this cup. I would like in between each refill station, I'd down that fucking bad boy. I'd finish that Coke like between each refill machine. And then one night when I didn't drink so much, but I was still like chugging it all down, like I'd go through one of these haunted houses with like a cup full of like fucking tropical coke in my hand, and I'd be constantly like fucking down in it as I'm going through the ride. So there'd be like some guy dressed as a demon or a ghost or like a zombie or something getting in my face going blah, 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 and I'd just be like fucking stood there like still with my cup of coke just going just ignore, just going just constantly drinking as I'm going through it, not giving a fuck. Oh god, I miss Florida. I'll be back in Florida soon, actually. 5 months and 2 weeks, and I'll be back in Florida, just drinking the coke nonchalantly. Yeah, they just get it right in my face, and I was just like, So that's good. That's good shit. Tropical coke, man. Heavily addicted to it. Anyway, that will be. I think that'll be it for tonight's stream. So, long story short is, guys, Dizzy's going to be fine. Dizzy will be back once she's had some time to decompress and calm down. And I feel really bad for that butter cookie who had his massive crash out and got himself into an awful lot of fucking debt, making skebs for a Mana Gawashina. I hope that guy can recover financially and manages to find happiness in life so that he doesn't have these problems. So yeah, Dizzy love and Sheena love. Poor Sheena as well. Probably not easy on Sheena either for her to have to deal obviously with that situation. I mean, yeah, it's not easy to deal with such a public crash out from such a, I guess, highly respected community member. But yeah, Sheena, Dizzy will be fine. You don't need to worry so much. Dizzy will be back. There's no, like, Face Connect isn't fail cascading. They'll all be fine. There's no problem. Face Connect isn't dying, and there's no like big drama that's gonna, like, you know, cause the thing to come crashing down anytime soon. As long as a certain blue-head VTuber doesn't Blitzberg too hard, Face Connect will be fine. All right, I think we know which blue-head VTuber we're talking about there. But is it? Oh, you know what? I'll raid Shiki if she's got raids on. Oh god, I'm always anxious about raiding Shiki because Shiki's an idol VTuber, and obviously I'm a male. I don't want to male on stream her, ideally. So you know what? I'm gonna stream if she's got raids opened. You know what? I'm gonna raid Shiki this one time and try to schizo armchair general her to see if she is disgusted at being raided by a male or not, right? That's I'll ask for forgiveness later. If I remember how to raid someone. Actually, hang on 1 second. But yeah, thank you very much for the memberships, guys. Thank you very much for the donations. Thank you very much for your company. I had a lot of fun today, and I don't know how, but for some reason I've fucking forgotten how to raid someone. 1 second. 1 second. I will get it. I will get it. View live, and is it the control room? No, it's not the control room. Oh, fucking hell. How the fuck do I raid someone again? Obviously, and you're free to piss off and do whatever you want at any time as well. Don't forget. Right? Don't need to stay around. Oh my god, I've not even joking this time. I've actually genuinely forgotten how to raid someone. What the hell is wrong with me? It wasn't that long ago since I last did a stream. What the fuck? Hang on. Edit. Is it edit? Details? Details. Playlists. Show more. What in God's name? Oh no, it's customization, isn't it? There we go. It's customization. There we go. Is Tricky got raids turned on? She does. Okay, let's raid Tricky. Awesome. There we go. Take care, guys. Oh, thank God for that. I figured it out. Yeah, take care, guys. Love you all very much. Bye bye. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're going to stay around in Shiki stream, I'd prefer not to be perceived by Shiki. So yeah, don't like talk about me a lot. Just peacefully show up, and let the less said about me, the better. Thank you.